I just realized that you have fucking pit vipers on your head.
I wear pit vipers every time I come here. Yeah.
You shopping on TikTok?
No, I've had these for years. And now I'm seeing pit vipers fucking everywhere. But they're super popular within...
I like it on you. It looks good.
This is the only reason why I wanted to get pit vipers, just so the mere fact I can do a fucking Macho Man stream. Something like, we got a helicopter coming in from the east side. Yeah, man. I'm telling you what, Hulk Hogan doesn't know it's coming. Yeah, I got the Macho Man. Yeah. Let me tell you something, man. Yeah, I'm a cream of the crop all the way to the top. Yeah, the cream always floats to the top. Yeah, man. I'm telling you what, man. Yeah. Welcome back to the Blacklisted Gaming Podcast. We're at episode 68, baby. I have Doc Nelson here, and then Eldridge is late because he slept until 3 p.m. because he's a moron. And he's like, I didn't actually no, he slept until 2:30. And guess what his punishment is for being late? He gets to sit in the baby seat, which is eventually going to turn into another desk and gaming chair of its own.
Eventually.
For the third person that if we were to have a guest.
For as long as I'm
drinking
still
coffee.
Here that he's here, I will be the third people. So.
Until he's gone, and when that's what. And then everyone's like, you got to get Discord figured out. I'm like, listen, let me do this at my own pace. I've got several things that I'm currently doing on top of this, to include, I got this PC. I'm figuring out streaming on the PC and playing, which, by the way, has been hard lately. It's been hard just because my one of the issues that I've been having, one issue I had at first was the fact that I was losing frames like crazy when I was playing games.
Okay.
Well, then I figured out, you got to run OBS as an admin and then play games. Okay. So I noticed that my frames weren't dropping too bad, except yesterday when me and Alicia were playing this horror game called Devour. My frame rates dropped when I was switching scenes. My frame rate dropped to like 3 on the stream.
3.
And I'm like running at 60 at all times, and it dropped to 3 on the stream. And I'm like, what the fuck? Come to find out, like the settings were set to uncapped frames on the game.
Oh.
So I'm like, let's tone that down. And then I didn't have too many issues. But the other issue I've been having, and I know a lot of you guys don't like to hear these fucking tech issues, but you know what? That's how we're just going to talk about it because I do what I want. Anyway.
Understood.
The other issue that I was having was, and still is that my PC, I have to hardwire to Ethernet, which is that blue cable behind you. And I'm working on hiding that. But as of right now, that is the only way to get hooked.
One of the best ways to do that is to not tell me there's a cable there.
Yeah, well, now you know. Bring the microphone closer to you, by the way.
Again, this wouldn't have happened if I didn't have to look back at the cable.
Well,
you won't have issues with it being obvious if you don't tell people about it.
Fair.
So,
because I have to have a wired internet connection to my PC, Alicia doesn't have to because she's got a Wi-Fi router on her thing.
Yeah.
Something is going on with my internet to where, and I noticed this when I first ever started streaming, is that my shit will disconnect from the internet randomly throughout my stream. Even when I was playing games and I had this hardwired to my PlayStation, I would randomly disconnect from the internet. I had worse internet connection hardwired than I did Wi-Fi. That's why I always went Wi-Fi. I was like, just fucking plug it into the Ethernet. I'm like, it's worse when I plug it into Ethernet. The router works better on Wi-Fi. I think it's a router issue. Everyone's like, it could be your internet. I'm like, could be. But I honestly think it might be the router. Again, I bought the router in like 2017. So it's
old.
It's old. I mean, the design hasn't changed much, but from what's out now, what's new, it's a Nighthawk. And all the other really big gaming routers are Nighthawks and other stuff. There's some crazy looking gaming routers out there though. There's one I found that's like the most powerful fucking gaming router, which gives you 10 gigabytes a second, which is fucking insane to think of. And apparently it is like the size of a dinner plate, and it looks like an upside down spider. It's like circular,
Okay.
and it's got all the antennas stick up in like a claw pattern, and it looks like a fucking spider. And I'm like, how much is that?
Is that on purpose or?
Yeah, I guess it's by design because it gives you up to like 30. It gives you like 20,000 square feet of coverage.
No, I just didn't know if like them making it look like a spider was on purpose or is
No,
it just like
no, it was.
this is what we did to make it work. It looks like a spider.
It's for practical design. Keep the
Okay.
mic by your face.
I'm sorry, man. Like I can't help
You
it.
can you can angle it to face you.
Yeah, I know, but like still, I move. That's
I know.
why.
Move it with you.
Ugh.
You'll get the more you do this, the more you'll get in the habit of actually moving this towards your face.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I want to do is I want to get a new mixer so that everyone can have a monitor, so they can hear how loud they are.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Well, that was the original point for this because I thought each of these ports on the top
Yeah.
were for monitors. I'm like, cool, everyone can bring a headset. We'll all have monitors.
Right.
No, there's one monitor port.
No.
The rest of them are for random shit like inputs and outputs.
Well, you got to think how much trouble did we have at first, considering the fact that the whole 3 cameras thing was, for a while, it was.
I was using a laptop.
Me and Eldridge were just like.
Dude, I needed to stray away from that so bad. That's honestly, once I got my disability and everything all figured out, I'm like, Daddy's getting a PC. Now, to be fair, I didn't buy the PC all in one chunk.
I mean, still,
I bought it through
not
A-Firm.
all of us are disabled. All right.
Wait till you get out.
I know I'm on my way, but still.
Someone even asked me at the barbershop yesterday. They're like, Matt, I asked like, what's your disability? I'm like, what are you disabled with? And I'm like, because he was like, I'm like, yeah, I got my disability, and my barber and this one guy was in there. Is like, I don't want to sound like an asshole here, but what's your disability?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the Army. I said I get disability through the VA.
Oh, you're a retard.
Oh, you're fucking stupid. I got it. No, but he was talking about it. He was like, he was kind of like trying to get on his own rat because I guess his dad or his grandpa like got sick from he was a Vietnam vet and he had a hard time getting his VA claim done. And and me being through the process only one time, I get it, guys. One time through the process isn't a lot. A lot of guys go through a lot. I got lucky.
Yeah.
I got real lucky because most people don't get the rating that I got on the first go. Mm-hmm. I got 70%.
Okay.
Which is fucking high. It's $1,500 a month payout.
Nice.
Tax free for the rest of my life.
Fuck yeah. All right.
So, and some people are like, "That's like fuck, dude." Like I had to appeal everything because they kept saying everything was not service connected. Now, granted, I will say there is a lot on there that I have that's not service connection. The mental health being a big one. Like my depression and anxiety is not service connected.
It's not.
No, because the therapist they had me talk to just did not care that I was there. I could tell.
I was like, sure, maybe if your record showed that you had it when you enlisted, that you had issues.
Here's the thing.
Then I could see why they'd be like, hey, you already had this.
This is what fucked me.
Okay.
Because I had TRICARE before I was in the Army.
Okay.
Because I was dependent. Mm-hmm. And I did get diagnosed with depression when I was in high school.
Oh.
And I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No. I was losing a lot of weight. And the doctors thought I had leukemia. So they were testing me for leukemia and everything. And then they concluded that I had depression and anxiety. Because I was like 140 something pounds.
You just told me I had cancer. Of course.
Like I went from like 190 pounds to like 140. I lost like 50 something pounds, and there was no explanation why. Mm-hmm. So they said that I had depression and anxiety, but they didn't tell me because I was a minor. They told my grandpa, who didn't tell me. So they're like, "Oh, in your treatment record, you have depression and anxiety." I'm like, "I do? I don't remember talking to anybody about that." I'm like, "Well, maybe through, all the times I went through this thing called SRP, which is like deployment readiness, and then like my command climate surveys, and I have had to talk to people before.
Right.
Thought they listed it off of that. No, sir, they did not. It was all. Oh. He's arrived.
We can,
hey, you want to do me a favor and hit the plus button on the light? There you go. You get to sit in that chair.
Oh, we already start?
Yeah, we did.
You bitch!
I mean, we didn't sleep till 3 o'clock.
I said it was gonna be like 10 minutes.
When did
You
say?
dirty fuck!
When did you say 10 minutes? By the way,
I said I was gonna be close.
Close.
Because there's a fucking road closure.
That's fine.
Bitch.
Listen, bitch, I'm on a timeline. Can I have the
Motherfucker.
Why did
This
you
is
bring
this
a
is
grinder?
for those that are getting that are up to
I said
this
I was gonna
point.
bring coffee to make.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you that, did I? He said he was gonna bring his own coffee. By the way, I gotta ask you, what the fuck are you doing waking up at like 2:45?
So I reset my alarm for like 1 o'clock.
That's fucking...
How late were you up?
Like 4? I was watching Squid Game, man. I wanted to finish it.
You were up until okay, so you were up until 4. You slept until fucking 2 something. Like you were gonna wake up at 1 o'clock.
That's like 8 hours, I think.
Dude, I go to bed every night at like 4 o'clock, almost,
I'm
and
on
I
leave
still
and
get
I
up at
didn't- and I
9:30,
didn't
10
sleep
o'clock.
in that bad.
I still get up at 9:30, 10 o'clock every day.
I don't know what you want from me.
Be better.
I'm highly upset.
You're upset.
I'm upset that we couldn't have waited 10 minutes.
Well,
I'm not worth 10 minutes.
No.
well, me and
Noted.
him were having a good conversation.
Noted.
I wanted to fucking
Fan.
record.
Noted. What I fucking miss?
Oh, we
Technical
were just
issues,
talking about tech issues and
disability.
stuff, and like my disability and shit. Nothing really important, honestly.
But,
really nothing
but
important.
good conversation nonetheless. Because, we woke up on time.
Also, I got to groom him for
This
that.
is how it
seat.
begins. This is how we phase Doc out, huh? This is how it
This is how
starts.
this is how we phase Doc Eldridge out.
Wow. Wow. So it begins.
That's a clip. No, I just wanted to get it started. It's just so we weren't kind of
I'm hurt.
doing.
Well, we
this
also
too
got to
late.
get you used to being a visitor.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
We got to get you to respond in the text messages.
I have been.
By the way, not nearly enough. Not nearly enough.
There are always news updates, so I'm just like, I'll read them. I'll look at the articles. Cool. But by the time I get to read them and do the articles, you guys are already talking about something else.
A lot of
So I
times it's just
don't
us
fucking
like
say anything.
bringing up news that we can either look into
Or you could
ourselves
also
or
like
talk about.
keep the eye out on all the news that's going on.
Yeah,
fair,
that too.
Fair. I'll
Zero
start-
contributions
to-
there.
to- fuck off. I was here on time. But no, I can definitely start helping you guys out, find news and stuff.
I would love that.
Oh, yes.
I
would
even
also
asked-
like for you
I
guys
even,
to get
I even
on.
asked him, like, did he like mute the group chat?
I
Like-
did not, no. Which is actually, because I even told him, I was like, can you guys start putting stuff in the group chat so that way I even have an inkling of what the fuck's going on?
Oh yeah,
He's
And then never
I
responds.
will. I will say you kind of have a bad habit of just not even. You just say it directly to me and not in the group.
Rarely.
Oh, actually, a lot
It's
more.
been a lot
often.
better.
Oh,
I will
it's
say
been
it's
better
been a-
now,
it's been
but like
better.
for a little while, like it was just
Are you
everything.
talking about the news stuff?
Yeah, everything
Well,
was like.
yeah, because he stopped. He never responded, so I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna send it to Brock then.
Oh, that's. I kind of figured that was why. But at least we're all on the same page now. The gang's all here.
The gang is
I should say the new gang, since the it seems like the old OGs of the podcast have kind of fiddled out.
I miss Tim. Tim.
Tim,
See, Tim's disappointed that you fucking started.
I mean, Tim,
This is
you could just see him in the
bullshit.
corner of the camera with his arms crossed, and he's just.
Tim's just he's just disappointed that y'all started without me.
It's all right, man. It's all right. So there's actually a lot to cover on this episode, guys. So we're gonna talk about. There's also another Activision lawsuit development that came out today, like a day ago.
Breaking news.
Fantastic.
We're breaking news,
So
guys.
Activision
Sort
is
of.
Activision is looking to delay the lawsuit, the DFEH lawsuit, in order to investigate further in the DFEH's ethics violation and disqualify the suit. Right now, so they failed a motion to, delay the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it's also come to light that Activision Blizzard has been disciplining its employees while this is happening, which shouldn't come to a
I don't
shock.
think that's coming to light. I feel like we need that.
Well, this is a new a new development. They were kind of like intimidating people going like as this thing was going on, but in light of this whole ethics violation thing, it's even worse now. Like I guess they're disciplining their employees. So Twitch for the third time in the last month has been hacked.
Oh, thank you.
So Twitch for the third time has been hacked. So if you guys remember the first time there was a data breach when everyone's income got leaked. When people got outraged, which I thought was the dumbest fucking thing ever. I don't think we didn't talk about that, did we?
Which one?
The Twitch hack. where everyone's income got put out.
No, that's the one I just sent you. The income one.
No, there's another one.
Oh no, we did talk about that.
We did.
Yeah, we talked about that.
So there's another hacking the second time where people went in and changed the cover of every single game in there to Jeff Bezos' face.
that one we didn't talk
funny.
about.
That
That
one
one was funny.
That
like
one
that.
is funny.
We
But
need more of that.
this new one, and it comes to find out this has something to do with PayPal.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's because a lot of people have their PayPal because it's easier.
I fucking don't. I put my bank account in there.
So it doesn't really matter though, because what I saw was some people did have their bank account, but the people changed it to a PayPal account, like just the hacker's PayPal account or whatever.
Okay.
So it was, even if you didn't have your PayPal account, they just changed the method of payout.
Oh, to them. They
Yeah.
route it to them. But it only seemed to happen through PayPal. Well, so back to what I was saying, because I completely didn't even say what the issue was this time. So hackers are stealing people's payouts from Twitch, and Twitch cannot do anything about it. We'll dive into how they can't do anything
It's
about
just
it.
another nail in the coffin.
Do you only own Jurassic Park shirts?
Oh, that's not the only nail in the coffin.
I'm
That's,
just
that's
curious.
not
Now I feel like I should only bring them here.
dude. Like there's another streamer. Her name was fucking BB something. She's the one you see her on TikTok. She's the one that's like dancing and stuff.
You know how fucking many people that could be?
Here, let me.
That literally narrows it down by nothing at all.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just
Hang on,
saying.
let me pull.
She's the girl on TikTok that's dancing around.
So her name.
We're in an ocean right now.
Stand by, dude. Stand by. It was BB Jess.
Oh yeah.
So
Totally.
she's a Twitch. So she's a Twitch partner. You know, a really well-known one.
Is she a titty streamer?
No, actually, she's not.
All right, I'll respect.
Like she does really cool dances. Like she does really cool edits. Like she'll be in one
Really
room.
cool dance.
Well, no, she'll go in. No, it is actually like she's just like all full of energy, and it's just like she's actually really well covered up doing this whole thing. She's a really small girl, so it's not like there's craziness on there. And she got her fucking setup looks like a goddamn command center. She got like 6 monitors, and how she has her setup is in multiple rooms. So she carries a remote around her that switches all the cameras, and she dances and faces each camera, and just it's all kinds of stuff. For Halloween, she had an emote, which was 2 bees with ghost sheets over them, and I imagine you know what the
like
name of
the
the emote.
letter B or
No, the bee bumblebees.
Okay.
With ghost sheets, 2 bees
I was trying.
with sheets over it. You know, boobies. Get it?
Yes.
Oh.
Twitch banned her for that emote, saying that it was nude and it was for nude.
But did
Nudity.
did she title it boobies?
It was boo-bees. B-E-E-B.
That's probably what triggered it in the system.
Regardless, she tried reaching out to Twitch, and Twitch did not respond to her
They
at
never
all.
do.
And she was fucking pissed. And then, to be fair, and by the way, it wasn't Amaranth that did the showing her pussy on stream. That was
What? That's what the article
no,
I
it
had
wasn't.
was.
She might have been one of them that did this.
Okay, that's fair. But it wasn't the famous pussy.
It was Misbehavin'. Misbehavin' was the one that did that.
You mean a name?
The
Misbehaving is showing vagina on screen.
This fucking streamer, Misbehavin', literally on stream, turned around, bent over, pulled her panties aside, and spread open her pussy and asshole on stream,
and
faced a 3-day ban.
No,
That's
the
it?
one
Yeah.
the one that I remember Amaranth got in trouble was because hers was an actual accident.
See, Misbehavin' said it was an accident, but also Amaranth and Misbehavin' have been banned multiple times for similar things.
Yeah.
And they keep saying, "Oh, it was an accident."
so
it's like,
Twitch
how many
has their-
times do you show your fucking labia on Twitch before it's not an accident?
Twitch has their do not ban lists that they said is not in effect anymore
Oh yeah, I bet.
I mean,
So anyway,
because they make too much money.
so
from
that's just another thing we're gonna talk about with Twitch. So Google is countersuing which games?
it. You spelled which?
Did
like,
I? Oh,
yeah.
autocorrect. Epic Games. Twitch is Google is countersuing Epic Games. With the same
because I remember
premise.
sending it to you and I couldn't remember what I had said and I was trying to type it fast
Yeah.
and I was like, which?
Well,
Like which
apparently-
sandwich? No, it's probably which games.
well, apparently it's which games.
It's
not
which games,
Epic.
not Epic. So also, New World, which is the new MMO that's come out, is currently facing a economy deflation crisis.
Imagine a game
I
economy
still-
is crashing.
I'm still so pissed about the fact that that's an issue.
Well, it's a weird issue to have, honestly.
I feel like it's just negligence.
It kind of is.
It's just the dev is just like, there's a problem, but I just
Well,
decided not to.
The
fucking fix
idea
it.
behind New World was to create like an actual simulated economy,
Yeah.
and by them doing this, have had it to where the valuable currency, there's not enough of it, so people are hoarding it, driving the price of all items down, and causing people to barter for stuff instead of using currency because they can't get enough of it. And I'm just like,
I thought it was barter, honestly, because it just seems like that type
I mean,
of game.
it kind of is in a way, but at the same time, it's like you have this currency that you can earn, but there's like only so much of it that you can earn, that you can find. And like people are, I mean, I don't know all the details, and we'll get into it, but it's a weird problem to have in a fucking video game, is that the economy
Yeah.
is so broken that like it's facing. Usually, it's the opposite. Economies inflate because people are earning too much too fast. So the price of everything just goes up to balance it. Now, how everything is in this game is that people aren't earning enough, causing the prices to go down.
I think I know what that's kind of, yeah, because I remember I was watching Mind Killer play it. He's one of the Regiment mods, and I was asking him how it was, and he said because of the worlds and there's so many people playing it, there's a limited number of resources. Like he was trying to find wolves, and it was one of the first like missions and things that you needed
And
to
trees.
get. Yeah, and he's like, "There's just nothing. I'm just searching for hours to find one wolf."
Same with trees. People are like having a hard time finding trees to cut down because fucking there's like a deforestation going on because fucking shit's not regenerating.
It's interesting.
It's like this cool. It's one of these things where it's like, oh wow, an actual like
I've never-
world living simulator that's like in a fantasy world that like it sounds cool on paper until you realize like, oh, people are going to use every fucking resource really fast because you have how many millions of people playing and the map is only so big to the point where it's like all the resources and currency are going to be gone.
They've got to make it
Never.
like World of Warcraft or something.
They have to. You just have to.
I've never heard of a video game running out of fucking trees, and that is
They don't have auto
Christ.
regeneration though, is what it
like
seems
at all.
like.
Like
I don't think
zero?
so.
Or after it's
at
just
least
too
from
short
what
a time frame.
I remember seeing other streamers being like, it's just finding like they're like it takes a long time to cut down trees, or they're sick of all they do is cut down trees, and then the other thing that they need certain trees but they can't find them because everyone's already cut them down.
Like, and it's taken, and the time frame for them to regenerate if they do is way
It's
too
long. It's long. It's like growing a real tree. Anyway,
So the devs were just like, yeah, we planted a million trees. I'm not doing any fucking more.
so
We're
Rockstar
changing the time.
Rockstar has once again announced another Grand Theft Auto that is not Grand Theft Auto 6. So the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy has been remastered, called the Definitive Edition.
I feel like they're wasting a lot of resources.
It's like $60 for 3 games. People
It's,
are
it's a diversion because
now
they
people
realized-
are complaining about this, and I honestly don't really think that the complaints that they're pointing out are exactly warranted. And one of it is like the way the game looks.
Didn't they just come out with a new mod too?
Oh, that's the other issue. No mods allowed on the Definitive Edition. So
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah, because that will stop people.
well, no, like mods will get you banned.
Yeah.
You can't even make mods now. They made it to where like modders can't make mods for these.
Because GT is like open source and they don't care about it.
Yeah.
Where these ones,
Still.
it's like if you figure out how to mod, you're wrong for it.
Well, in this one, at least from what I read, if I read it correctly, was that mods there is no modding in these ones. And the other thing people are saying, like, well, I mean, the characters still look goofy. And it's like, yeah, I mean, all they did was redesigned the animations to make them look more like the cover art of Grand Theft Auto. Like
it's like a remaster.
yeah.
I can see why a lot of these.
But
complaints-
honestly, in comparison to what it used to look like, it looks pretty damn good.
I mean, yeah, but like, I mean, it's like saying when they did the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, wow, this looks a lot better. Yeah, we're talking about they were using passwords for save data back then.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
of course
we
it's gonna
talked
look
we
fucking
talked about
better.
that last time you were here. Yeah,
Yeah,
You know the standard of remaster that I hold companies to is Spyro. Like how
Oh yeah,
amazing
no,
that game
same.
looks.
It's the same thing with with ironically the Crash Bandicoot trilogy too. When they did those games, they took every aspect of the original games. Like some of the exploits from those games still work.
Yeah.
Even though they completely had to from scratch. Like sure, they knew what designs, what levels they were going to make, but they had to rebuild all of it with the new engines and everything. It's like even in fucking Crash Bandicoot, the spinning right after you slide and jump will get you a higher jump to like kind of like break some parts of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Still works in the new one. You know, same thing with like Spyro.
A lot of the cheat codes still work.
Yeah, even in
the new one?
Yeah, even in Spyro,
like I can still make
the brand.
big head, fucking change colors.
Oh yeah,
all that shit.
it's insane. Like
That's
they
kinda,
really
I kind of like that.
they really
I don't know
took everything from the games and just said, yeah, cool. There you go. Sure, the graphics are upgraded a little bit.
A little
Sure,
bit.
What I'm saying though is that like yes, the graphics are upgraded. Get out of here. But like, and it looks different, you know. But the only things that they even remotely changed at all was only for the Crash Bandicoot. The Spyro trilogy is all the fucking same. They did a little like journal dialogue of things you can collect in Spyro, and in Crash Bandicoot they added time trials for all 3 games. That's and a couple of bonus levels for Crash and Spyro, because like there were some games that didn't quite make the cut. They took the development for those levels, like not Stormy Ascent. I think it's Stormy Ascent actually. It was a level that was too hard for the original Crash game. They finished it based off of what was in the original game files and then put it up in there for free DLC.
Well, I'll show the comparison between the two.
I think what was it, Toys for Bob?
Yeah.
They did a fantastic job on that stuff.
I meant just graphically though. Like when I think of remaster and people are talking about it, I hold it to the standard of those games and how they made them look.
Well, also too because they took a lot of extra love in those games and like just
they did.
put it in there. It wasn't like even like if you take like Dark Souls Remastered, where it was just Dark Souls, but on your PS4 now. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, it was great because a lot of the exploits still worked.
Toys for Bob is on Activision now.
But it's just the idea that like when they did those games, as well as Crash Team Racing was remastered as well.
I have it.
Fantastic. But like they put a lot of love into those games, and they kept all the originality from the actual releases, but they literally just graphically upgraded them, and then the stuff that they added, if you didn't want it to affect the game that you're playing, like if you wanted to play Crash Team Racing exactly as it was, you can go through everything in Crash Team Racing without using the extra shit.
Yeah.
But the extra shit's there if you want it. So
I'm not
that
a fan
is
of the
the
extra shit either.
gold standard for if you're going to remaster a video game. And
I like ground up rebuilds.
Well, I mean, that's what these were.
Like all new game, but
Are you talking like soft reboots?
No, I'm talking about complete remaster. Like
Are you talking about like Modern Warfare did it?
No, like the Modern Warfare did, and Shadow of the Colossus, where it was like a ground up complete rebuild, but using the same like similar mechanics, definitely upgraded graphics, but also use the same like animations and storyline and stuff.
That seems more like reimagined versus remastered.
No, it's like a complete rebuild of the game. Like it's the exact same game. It just, you can tell this is not like just enhanced. This is like straight up all new assets that make the game look and play better.
Oh, so you're talking like an actual, well, again, like what we were talking
like
about. Like
Shadow of the Colossus.
Like you rebuilt the whole thing
Yes.
because you couldn't take assets from a PlayStation.
Right. They didn't even use, they did not, no reused
like
assets.
We're not talking about like just like polished up graphics.
Yeah, we're not talking
like
about
a complete rebuild.
like nothing is reused. It's all original, but it's all like, it's modeled exactly the same as the original game.
Yeah, I mean that's what Spyro is, because they had to delay it.
That's what Crash was.
Yeah, they just had to. It was a pain in the ass for them to be able to figure out how to put in the same like mechanics and shit.
Yeah,
the way it worked on PlayStation 1.
They were messing around too, because they were
still
like, they had to play those games, because I don't think it's the exact same team did both games.
No, because the original was
because the first one was Crash.
Well, the original companies were dissolved, I think.
What do you mean?
No, they got taken out by Activision.
Yeah. Well, they were dissolved, and then they bought them up
Yeah,
and like restarted them. Like
No.
Naughty Dog.
Oh, well,
Naughty Dog was gone.
Naughty
for a while.
Dog had Crash for a while.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
then no. After they did Crash Team Racing,
Because they
they wanted to do different types of titles, and because the way I think, if I remember right, I might be wrong. Don't quote me. But the way that the actual contract was written for Sony, it didn't allow them to keep it, so they just ended up selling it.
I don't know. But I will say let's keep moving on to the other topics because we still got a few more.
we nerded out a little bit.
We needed to do a quick one today.
A little bit quicker.
I don't know if you listen to the previous episodes.
It's only 2 hours.
Well before we started doing this, every episode we're gonna make it quick today. 4 hours later.
Well, last week's I had to do quick because I was like, I have to be at the airport. Mama was coming. I had to pick her up from the airport.
And she wasn't even here on time.
She landed when I got there. She landed when I got there, and it took an hour for her to get off the plane. So that was fun. Oh. Anyway, so DICE announced all the changes that are coming to Battlefield 2042 after the beta.
Okay.
I feel like we should move that.
And lessons that they've learned. Whatever. It was the last one anyway, but I didn't. Okay. I forgot about the Dbrand one that I told you about.
And I'm glossed over.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could see us talking about that for a while. So
yes,
I would. Yeah.
That's going to be the last. We're going to push that to the end. So Dbrand is the company that when the PS5 was first announced, and they said that these plates on this nice little console here can be taken off, and
that's how you have to change the SSD card.
Yeah, you could take both of the panels off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dbrand came out and said that we will custom make panels for the PS5.
Oh, that's cool.
Sony gave them a cease and desist and told them they would sue them if they did that. So all pre-orders were canceled, and they were no longer allowed to.
Why would you?
Well,
because they were selling the Sony's panels back to people.
But they're not patented.
And they're not patented, and Sony holds the patent for this. Well, they were through several different little legal...
Not the panels, though.
No, just the panels.
No, I'm saying they don't hold a patent for the panels.
No, Sony does hold a patent for the panels. That was why they were given the cease and desist, because people couldn't do custom ordered panels, because what they did was they were selling the exact panel with the logo on it and everything.
Oh, see, that's the main thing is the logo.
But they changed it where they took the logo off. However, Sony still slapped them with a cease and desist, saying the whole design in itself is patented by Sony. So they couldn't even do that. Now, they have found a straight up loophole that Sony can't do fucking anything about.
Oh, what's that?
They made similar panels.
You'll have to stay tuned
with design differences.
Okay.
To make them work
distinct, but still
distinct.
Functional.
Like they put a vent on one of the panels for like the fucking for the fan, and they put it on the panel this time. So instead of having smooth panels, and there's a vent, and then like a couple of redesigns to where they are very similar but different in its own way.
Right.
I mean, that's how drug companies get away with things. They
exactly.
change, the dye.
Or they change the delivery method.
They were really smart about this one. They're like, because they said we're going to figure this out. We'll be back, and Sony kept just
we'll be back. Hold on.
And they essentially, that's more or less. I'm putting words in their mouth with this, but in a different way. They basically said that like, so we're going to figure this out. We're going to keep pushing for this. And
it would really suck though too, because that is a business opportunity for them, and if you're the ones who made the fucking panels, like,
right, and so they created their own.
Wait, were they the ones that made the panels for Sony too?
So they were
Okay.
Oh, that's what I thought you meant.
No, okay. I was like, wait, what?
Dbrand is a third-party company. They were making custom panels for people's PS5. So you buy the PS5, buy these panels from this company, and then they'll send you those panels, and you can just replace them.
I mean, depending on how this article goes, I might be checking out some Dbrand panels.
I mean,
so that would be kind of cool.
That was the original idea when they first announced it, and they said the panels could be removable, and Dbrand was just like, we're going to fucking make custom.
Hell yeah.
Because it would show just this, the white one. And everyone's like, well, what if I want...
They have a black one now, too.
Yeah, now they have a black one, but before they announced the black
one. That's kind of a boring design.
It is a bit of a boring design.
And it would be kind of cool, especially if you got, like, a PS5, like, early on now. Like, even if you were to just now get one, it'd still be early on. But, like, it's going to last for how long? How long did you have your PS4 before you really had to replace it?
Up until about 2 years ago.
I haven't replaced it.
Okay.
So you still sound like an airplane taking off? Oh, you don't even play on that anymore.
No, I mean I still have it. Like
Right. Well, what I'm saying though is that if you get a design for it now, it would be a little bit more worth it. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm going to get a design and try to pimp out my,
Yeah.
6-7-year-old PS4 that eventually you're going to.
Well, they're trying to roll out these panels now, like as soon as possible,
Right.
while they still can, before the redesign comes, because every PlayStation has a fucking redesign in some way, shape, or form.
yeah, everyone. It's always slimmer.
It's always slimmer. It's always like a slight, or like in the pros. In the pros instance, it was like the PS4 Pro was bulkier. But
Have you ever
anyway,
tried to
I
take
don't
the
know
panels
why
off?
for more hard drive space.
Well, I mean, they do it for some reasons. I mean, it's like the original PS2 was a fucking VCR essentially.
Yes.
And then they had that PS2 Slim, and I'm like, what the
Yes.
fuck was in the first one? Like,
We
Have you
were
ever tried to take the panels off?
advances in technology was able to.
I mean, true, but
the same with memory SSD or SSD cards or SD cards, SD cards.
It's SSD.
When they like used to be fucking gigantic, and now
and
they were
USB drives used to be fucking monstrous, and
yeah.
And it was 3 megabits or
Yeah,
something.
or
Like
it was
just
like
to think back
320 like megabytes.
back
or
in the
something like that,
90s,
yeah.
a terabyte fucking hard drive would be the size of this desk. Now it's like the size of a card, like maybe that. And
Well,
now,
I mean-
like even like the card that I have right here, that's 4 terabytes.
The little
It's like this
SSD
big.
card
It's like that big.
that I have for the PlayStation, the one that goes in that little tiny fucking slot, it's a terabyte.
Right, and it's slim. It's tiny.
And
Also,
it's with the heat pack on
in
it.
other news, which we're willing to take some wagers on what kind of game it's going to be, but
Shit.
there's finally been announced by insiders that Ubisoft has greenlit and started development on a new Splinter Cell.
I don't trust anything about Ubisoft.
Neither do I. Everything from Ubisoft has been basically the same fucking thing
They used to be
across
so good.
all titles. And we even talked last week about the fucking Frontline. The Battle Royale Ghost Recon's been delayed indefinitely.
Essentially canceled.
So canceled.
The
Yeah,
alpha,
is what you're telling
the,
me.
the alpha test was supposed to be the day that we recorded.
Oh, geez. And they
And-
just said, nah, fuck that.
And the day before that they were supposed to go live, they delayed it indefinitely.
Jesus.
Granted, the game was announced with severe backlash because nobody asked for that.
Well, I mean,
Everybody's gotta
to
have
be
Battle
fair about
Royale.
the subjects that we had talked about, and that I even told you about with like ESO, no one asked for Elder Scrolls Online. No one asked for the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition. We just wanted you to.
I would argue to say that I wouldn't say that nobody asked for the ESO, and the reason why I say that is because everyone wanted to be able to play Elder Scrolls with their friends.
So two responses to that. One, everyone just wanted Bethesda to shut the fuck up and make the next Elder Scrolls game. Two, if you wanted to play Elder Scrolls with your buddies, you shouldn't have made a really shitty MMO. We wanted you to make something like Skyrim that I could play with my buddies. ESO is not Skyrim.
Well, ESO also came out like a year after fucking Skyrim did.
It was a little ways after.
Not that long.
Yeah, it wasn't that close either. I mean, go ahead, check. I'm pretty sure
Skyrim came out November 11th, 2011.
We have a whole big ass monitor with Google, and he pulls out
his phone.
Well, because I got the topics on, I don't fucking feel like, and plus I don't want the keys and shit.
The keys?
ESO, the keys
typing.
are. Oh, they come out April 4th, 2014. So it actually was pretty far afterwards. I mean,
So
like,
it wasn't like the like we talked about with like the Fallout thing where they're like, oh, like
I
hey,
mean,
we're just
here,
trying to get the hype.
this is
off
why I
of
didn't want to
this.
use my keyboard. Okay, it's a gaming keyboard with fucking like, it's loud. It's fucking loud.
Did you do that just to give
Yeah,
this example?
I did.
I'm gonna fuck with the keyboard to show you how much I hate fucking with the keyboard.
Oh man, like last episode when I was switching scenes, like you hear
Yeah.
me click, click.
I didn't hear
click.
anything.
I did.
Well, in your headphones, yeah, but there's a lot of things that pick up in your headphones that don't. End
You
up
also
on
got to
the
remember,
episode.
like I'm editing these also, so it's like I hear and see things that
That still
you
reminds
don't
me-
get to see.
That still reminds me of earlier with Alicia banging around her fucking water bottle.
Oh, her giant-
it's not
her
that it's not
fucking-
that loud. I didn't hear anything.
Her Tumblr, it's like go. I'm like,
Are you talking
babe,
about on the stream?
no,
it
like,
was
before
he,
you
he
got
was
here.
setting up and he had his headphones in, and he's like, "Hey, that's pretty loud." She's like, "It's not that loud." He's like, "You don't have the headphones on. Of course it's
It's like
not
you
loud."
don't hear what I hear. I
So
hear.
did she do
it's
it
like every
more?
No, she didn't.
Oh, that'd have been
No.
hilarious.
But it was pretty noisy even without the headphones on, and she's just like banging around the fucking table.
Yeah, she was. It was funny.
How's leave going?
So far it's fantastic. I don't have to work, so did pretty good on the old PRT, even though I had to take that when I was on leave.
Oh no, a whole hour
I know.
of your time.
I actually, again, I know that some places can like run behind when they do their PRTs. It ain't my first rodeo, but you told me to wait outside, and I was like, dude, it's like past 11 o'clock.
By the way,
hold on a second.
Well, actually, no. We'll go back
Like,
to this.
I'm not going to get counted late for my PRT that I got told to wait outside for.
Before we get into asking you about your fucking PT test, or your PRT, whatever you did, was it PRT or the PT test?
It's the same thing.
PFA, PRT.
The Navy
PT
just
test.
calls it different things.
So what I want to know about this regiment news here. I saw this earlier today. Like, what is this So, regiment's doing a leadership course giveaway.
yeah.
So what is this?
With the USMC guy? I was running a little bit late, so I wasn't able to get all the details on it.
Did you also sleep
So
in
why'd
for
you
that?
put it in here?
Because all the details are in regiment. I just didn't have enough time to type them out. And
Gotcha.
not be super late.
So I was
I can
looking
pull
at
it up
this.
more towards like the
Is
end.
this like anybody can be in this course, or does it have to be Marines?
No, it's gonna be anybody.
So it's like
It's just led by a Marine,
gotcha.
and I think it might be a part of the Loot Fest.
How
thing.
long is it?
That? I'm not sure. I don't think that.
Is this
info
like
was on
where
there.
they house you and shit, and you go through this leadership course for
Might
a
be.
course of several days?
I'm thinking it might be. It might be a part of Loot Fest too, because it looked like it was tied in on the Loot Fest stuff.
If it weren't for the fact that I can't take the time off to go to Loot Fest, I would 100%.
Dude, I would love to plan. Like if we were able to plan a trip to fucking
the
Vegas to
Blacklisted
go to
Gaming
Loot Fest.
Podcast and the
Hell
regiment.
fucking yeah, dude. Go
Yeah.
out to Vegas for Loot Fest, chill with the
Alright,
regiment guys.
Listen,
the whole crew's out here. Let's go.
I'm just excited that I'm getting a coin and a patch.
Right? That would be fucking lit.
Yeah.
Have a couple, like, just take your laptop and we'll just do, like, we don't have to do a video episode, but we can make clips and shit.
Speaking of plugging shit, I got a fat ass order coming in from Killer Jerky.
Oh, here we go. He's trying hard for
I'm
this.
trying hard for this one.
Please
You
sponsor.
did a whole ass.
It's
Did you
good.
watch,
I was hoping it would get here in time for the episode so that we can all try it together.
did you watch the episode?
No,
last one?
No,
Yeah,
I haven't.
I plugged Killer Jerky, and I even said, I'm like, I don't care if they pay me ever. Just send me fucking beef jerky.
Beef jerky. I will review it every episode.
I mean, I ordered 3 different flavors of beef jerky, a pack of gummy bears, the peanut butter pretzels they have.
They
So
have gummy bear jerky.
no, it's just gummy bears. Like, they don't have just jerky; they have snacks too.
This is apparently what happens when you get your disability checks. You order fucking.
Have you seen the
It's not expensive, dude. It was like $40 for all of it.
Really?
Yes.
I'm kind of impressed about that.
Have you seen the disability checks?
Yeah, no, we were literally talking about that earlier.
Right before you got here.
Especially,
Yeah.
like, if you've
Yeah.
never had them before and you're not.
Do you know how
expecting
much
it,
people with 100% disability get per month?
Not
It's like
offhand.
$3,000.
$3,300 a month.
Jesus.
And like when you're not, if you, especially when you first get it, and like you've been working and you're not expecting it, it's literally extra income that you didn't have before.
Oh yeah,
Like
like
a significant amount.
I got my car on the gamble of the fact that I was going to get my disability.
I wouldn't advise that normally. But
No,
glad it worked out for you.
yeah. I mean, one, I needed a new car, and this was the most reliable and a decent, nice car. I'm like, hey, careful when you hit the desk too. By the way, like for kicking the desk for both of you.
My feet are over here.
So, because like your camera will shake.
Okay.
Anyway, so like,
Did I kick the desk?
yeah, your camera was shaking. I just heard your foot thump it, and now your camera's going like.
I'm sorry.
like that.
Who's in the bitch chair?
First of all, this is way more comfortable than that chair. I hate
Sure.
that fucking chair.
Good for you. You
The
can
fact
sit.
I just feel better the fact that I'm not like slumped into something like looking up at the camera.
Yeah, that's true. I also lowered the camera so it's not so high up. Anyway, but like
I can see it on his.
now,
computer.
here's the thing that you got to understand about VA disability. The 100% rating
It makes
Yeah.
no sense.
is very difficult
Oh, I bet. Like,
to get. It's very difficult to get, and depending on you can actually go above 100%.
Yeah. Anything above 50% is actually hard to get.
I know. I was super shocked that I got 70%, but I'm not going to argue it. And the good thing about 70% is like I could never go down.
I'm curious as to what I'm gonna get for my stuff.
Once you're at 70%, you're permanently there. The only way you can go from there is up. So I can potentially go up even higher than that because my knees, though, are at 0%, are labeled service connected. So here's how disability works.
Right. So
the big thing you want is service connection. Yes. Even if it's at 0%, it's a rating, and it can only go up. It can never be taken from you.
Right.
But if it's not service connected, that's the only one that's hard, because if it's not service connected, then you got to fight and appeal to get it service connected. Versus like if it is service connected at 0%, that is a rating. It can only go up from there. I have 3 things that are 0% but service connected. I got one part of my hip, which I have 3 or 4 different parts of my hip that are on my disability that are all service connected, and like 3 different parts of each knee.
Christ.
I know, but it's like just different things that like they went off my treatment record for all the things I got treated for. So
that's why they tell you go get seen for everything.
And
like no matter what.
Exactly. This is why I harp on this. So while you're at it, I don't give a fuck if you pooped and you feel bad now. Go to the fucking doctor and go to, like for you, any of you guys.
I got 10% for my anus.
Listen, for any of you guys, my cousin collects disability because he got allergies.
Really?
Yes.
What?
Because he didn't have allergies before he came in, and then he got treated for allergies, and he claimed it.
I got my ADHD diagnosis halfway through my career, like when I was with the Marines.
Oh no, trust me, I've documented all the knee injuries, the hamstring problems that I've been having. Like it's in there. Like,
fuck your back up now.
What?
Fuck your back up. Not to the part where you're debilitated, but like fuck your back up enough to where it's a problem. I mean, for me, unfortunately, but fortunately, I have arthritis in my back. So
I have a cyst in my knee that they won't take out till it's too big.
Fun. But so for those of you guys that are still in and you're watching this, I highly suggest you go to the clinic. I don't give a fuck what your leadership says. Go to the clinic.
Don't be like the Marines that I'll do these fucking they're getting out physical and they're writing all this shit down on their 2808s, and I'm like, have you ever been seen for this?
No. Then what do you want to do?
I'm like, the VA don't give a fuck about this form, bro.
No, they don't.
And you're just making my day a living hell because I have to write something if you write it down.
Right. So like what I'm glad I took my grandfather's advice for this. He said get everything. Get seen for everything. I don't care what it is.
I don't know. Eldridge, have you seen Chiefs when they're getting just a couple years close to retirement and
they're just medical
constant. I mean,
that's why.
When I was at my last behavioral health clinic, one of the chiefs that I knew pretty well at my last command, he'd say, "Hey Nelson, what's going on?" I was like, "Oh, Chief, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Oh, well, we're a couple years closer now to me getting out, so I'm just making sure everything's good to go." I was like, making sure everything's good to go. He's like, "Yeah, I got to go see medical for like the 3rd time this week because like he had a real bad like knee fuck up, so he was constantly getting every fucking thing documented."
Right.
What people don't realize though is, I mean, one of the few things that I've learned being at this monstrosity of a command, because it's VA, that if you do that type of stuff, the VA is less inclined to be like, okay, is the service connected?
They won't they're less, service connected, and they're less inclined to even help you.
Yeah, because if you don't get seen for it at least once when it's an issue or becomes an issue, and you try to get it documented later on, like obviously closer to retirement, they're less inclined to take it into effect or like into consideration.
And that's why
because they're like, oh, they're just fucking playing the system.
And that's why my mental health wasn't claimed, because I didn't have a treatment record for that. That's what I was getting into, the whole thing.
Yeah, well, you also had a weird scenario too with what we were talking about.
Yeah, I did.
Like that is admittedly a different scenario that probably fucked you over that you had no control over.
The fuck yeah, I did.
So, you know what's gonna fuck me over on that?
What?
Because since I work in mental health, I don't typically get seen in our mental health. I get tracked mostly by like primary care and like the B-hip type model, and then I get my meds. So they're gonna be like, we don't see really all that many mental health notes. I'm like, yeah, because I work in the field. I usually would have to get seen out in town for that shit.
Yeah, I can't exactly just like.
They can forward that to the clinic, can't they?
If I were significant enough for me to request to be seen out in town, yeah, I can get those records and have them put in. But I'm not mentally broken to where I can't be managed by like
I'm mentally broken. I have PTSD from fucking doing all the stupid shit that the Army made me do. cleaning out
PTSD
connexes over and over again.
From Facebook.
People claiming PTSD from their fucking basic training, dude.
Don't get me started.
And they get it.
Don't do it.
And
Don't
they
get me
get it.
started.
Like they go see mental health while they're in. Like my drill sergeant yelled at me, and now I pee my bed at night.
I
Like,
tell you that.
fucking what?
Actually, I don't really hear too many stories about things like that. I just
At least
hear-
not Navy boot camp.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you're in the Navy.
Well,
no,
no.
I mean like
We work
don't-
at recruit mental health.
harder.
We look at recruit mental health though.
Look at the recruits.
Yeah, they're bitches. I know.
No, what I'm saying is like I don't hear too many of them complaining that they've been yelled at a whole lot. Mostly what
Because
I
they've scaled back on it in ways. They have. They can't even do the shark attack anymore. In
I mean,
the Army and Marine Corps.
I still see shit like that, but
You do-
that's the Army. So,
It's.
but what I'm
some
saying
still
is
do it.
I'm not hearing too many people who are like, "Oh, I'm scared because they yelled at me." I just hear a lot of the ones of the people who are just like, "Oh, I just can't take boot camp," and then it's not about being yelled at; they just don't want to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's
they
mostly
they
what
want to
I've
go
been seeing.
home. They're homesick. It's a lot of work that
I'm
they
also
didn't
really
expect to
I'm
do.
also really upset too because a lot of them like after you hear so many stories, you can just tell like who's clearly like there are some people who are like legitimately having rough fucking times and they get that, but it's not hard to see who's faking it.
Oh, it's very easy. To
And
see
I
who's
just
faking
wish I
it.
had better actors. Like
The only time they can get PTSD though, the things that I've actually like learned from RLT and our civilian doc is while they're doing because they have to do all the diagnoses and everything. If it is anything that was part of a situation that happened before boot camp, you're not getting it. And if it's not something that's like they were sexually abused by their RDC or by somebody in boot camp or like something super
You're
significant.
fucking your DI or your drill sergeant or whoever has to
not-
basically fuck you in your bunk in order to get
Yeah,
PTSD
yeah,
now.
pretty much, yeah. From boot camp, anyways.
Yeah. So let's hard charge in these topics because they are juicy.
Ooh.
They are juicy topics.
All right.
Oh, by the how was PT by the way?
Like I've been slacking like a motherfucker, and I haven't rowed at all because I did the row machine because they gave me an option. And fucking why not?
How far?
2,000 meters.
That's it? 2 clicks?
Yeah, but it's timed.
Well, yeah. What's the time?
How fast you can do it.
So-
2,000 is the minimum.
What?
No. Shush.
You have to go 2,000
You have to go
meters.
2,000 meters.
Yeah.
Right.
You have to do it in a certain amount of time
Right.
based on your age.
What's
and,
the passing time? The minimum passing time or maximum?
Minimum passing time?
Maximum passing time.
I think it's like 10 minutes.
You have to row 2 clicks in 10 minutes
I think like
in order
I
to
think at the least, yeah.
before you
Like-
before you fail.
bare minimum passing, yeah.
For-
Dude, that is easy.
I know.
Yeah.
So how was rowing? Sucked.
I haven't. No, it's fucking simple. It was way easier.
What
than the
setting
bike,
was it
honestly.
at? 10.
I had. 7.
I don't know what he did.
I did mine 7.
You can lower below 10.
On.
You're allowed to
Yeah,
for
you
your
can do
PT.
honestly, you can do whatever setting you want.
Oh my God, for real?
Because it's on you to get the time that you need. If you don't know the setting that you need,
it's like the bike.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like even if you do the bike, like I did the bike this time because I was like, my run time, like I could pass it, but it's not to get like a good score yet. Just because I've been like working on more of my cardio now that my legs aren't fucked up, and you can set that bike on whatever fucking resistance you want, but like whatever you put it on may or may not fuck you.
That's true. The lower you go, the harder it is to get as far as you want to go.
yeah. So you
Wh-
gotta
which
know.
which is why
your
it's
setting.
well, I mean, it's once you know what you're doing, it's easy. It's like
I row at level 10 all the time.
It's well,
So-
I mean, it's like when I did the bike for my PRT, I literally just put it up to like resistance like 16, 17, and just cranked it the whole time. Granted, I have big legs, so I can get away with that. But like,
You gotta think that it might be a different brand too, because
True,
because there's a specific one that Navy uses. But I haven't rode since there was a.
since they announced it,
Well, no, there's this like a Sailor 360 module event that we did like 2 years ago, and we did a fun event for that, and I did it for like 500 meters. That's the last time I've rode. So
it's really not hard as long as you use your whole body. It's usually
that shit was easy as
Do you know
fuck.
what score you got?
I would have had a little bit higher, but the plank score doesn't count.
Right, but like, do you think you know what you got overall?
I think it's either a good low. I would have had a good high, but I think it ended up being a good low now
Oh,
because they're taking everything out. I think it's funny though because
Case
you know
in
how
point,
people,
do fucking PT.
you know how people will be like, you should never, quote unquote, never never fail push-ups and sit-ups previously
Yeah.
because people count for you, and
Right.
give you bullshit numbers. But with the plank, there's no faking that
No, not at all.
because it's timed and everyone's doing
The
it
funny
the
thing
same.
is, like, in the Army especially, is like with the push-up sit-up event, like, I've seen it to where, like, in the Army it's different than the Marine Corps, is that you have to have your hands locked behind your head, and you got to go past the parallel, or you have to go, like, past a certain parallel line, or whatever the fuck it's called. I've seen graders literally stand there and go like this with their hand, and like go like that, and like see if you go past it, and then like fail people off that. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, those are,
And then you have other guys
those
that are
are
like,
the
you will
assholes.
touch the ground. You do ranger push-ups here, and it's like, what? And in airborne school, there's a funny thing and a really cool thing that they like to do is like when in airborne school for the PT test, they don't let you go more than the minimum on purpose. The run is whatever, but the push-up sit-up event, because in the Army there's push-up, sit-up, 2-mile run.
Yeah.
For an airborne school, the push-up sit-up event, they don't let you go past the minimum. They make you go like the minimum is for men is 42 push-ups.
Yeah.
And the minimum sit-ups is 50 sit-ups, I think.
I think we're honestly the same across the board on those.
So
Depending
and
on
then
age.
and then once you hit that number, they stop you.
Okay.
So, and I don't know why, but that's just what they do. They stop you. Like that's the minimum requirement. That's as much as you're gonna do. The run is whatever you want, however fast you can fucking run. Because that's not something they can just,
Slow down.
slow down. You're going too fast. But there's a fun thing that they do in airborne school. It's called 41 clubbing.
Mm-hmm.
So you need 42 push-ups to pass. And what they like to do sometimes, and I don't think they do this much anymore, is that if they've overfilled the slots for that airborne school,
Yeah.
the way that they will eliminate people is no matter what you do, like 41, 41, 41, 41, and then you're like, what the fuck? And you were literally you're like punching holes in the ground. You're digging into the ground with your chest at this point, and they're still saying 41. And then, but there's a loophole. You have to ask them in the middle, like while you're doing it, like in the approved rest position. So like, Sergeant Airborne, what am I doing wrong? And they have to tell you, and then you just do it the exact way they tell you, and then they give it to you. But if they're trying to like eliminate people, because they have too many people in the slots that they have, they'll just 41. They call it the 41 club. And they just say 41, 41, and then fail you.
Oh, I thought it was because I thought they were doing that for the people that wanted to try to go above 42.
No. What they'll do is like to get rid of people because they've overbooked it and they don't have enough slots in order to eliminate the person.
Bullshit.
In order to eliminate the person, they will never give them the 40-second push-up no matter what they do. So they'll just 41 club them and basically like tell them that they didn't meet the PT requirement and then fail them because of that. Because if you don't pass that PT test, you're out.
And that's for the patch or the tab.
That's for the tab is what?
I don't remember which one was better.
The wings. It's the
I don't
wing.
remember.
So okay, let me tell you something.
Well, I mean,
Here's how
there's Ranger patch and then the
Here's how-
tab.
so
or that's
the-
the unit. I was thinking.
The units have all the airborne units have an airborne tab for the airborne unit. Even the fucking 101st, who by the way are not airborne anymore. I don't
Sorry, I
give a
was thinking
fuck what
Ranger.
you think, you kicking chickens.
I was thinking Ranger.
Ranger tab is different. Okay, so in the airborne, the only thing that you earn that goes with you, no matter what unit you go to, that's similar to a tab, are just your airborne wings.
Hmm.
Now, when you go to an airborne unit, that's when you get this bad boy. And
Can you only wear it at the unit?
yeah.
Okay.
If you're in an airborne unit, yeah. So like if it's the 82nd, the 173rd, and whoever the fuck else, whoever's in Alaska, yeah.
Whoever's in Alaska.
I can't remember the fucking I can't remember the unit that's in Alaska. I always forget them. In fact, most of the airborne community does. But
Rude as fuck.
it's rude as fuck, but they do some pretty awesome shit. They do Arctic airborne operations.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
Apparently, the guys that have done it said it is probably one of the coolest fucking airborne operations they've ever done.
I imagine that there would be some cool aspects to that,
But it's still cold.
but it would still suck
Yeah,
a lot of
I'm
dick.
not a
Like,
fan of
You're
that.
jumping into the Arctic Circle.
Nope, I'm good.
It's not gonna. You're gonna be freezing your dick off, and it's not gonna be a good time.
Not trying to be meeting Mr. Polar Bear.
But,
so-
So the the only thing that really carries with you with everywhere you go is your airborne wings. But honestly, if you go to a fucking leg unit, which is what we call non-airborne units, you're just a 5-jump chump. You just passed your airborne school and you just did your 5 jumps to graduate, and then cool, you get your wings. You're never going to jump again. You're just airborne qualified. Now,
how do you get your wings? That's how you get your wings?
You get your wings by graduating school.
What's the difference that you were saying was significant about the wings then?
The wings are the only thing that carry with you on your uniform everywhere you go. The beret and the unit patch does not.
Okay.
Everyone thinks that because you're airborne, you get an airborne tab. No, you don't get a tab. The tab goes with the unit patch. The airborne wings are the only thing that are separate from everything else. The maroon beret and the airborne tab with the fucking unit patch is specific for airborne units. The wings are the only ones that go with you everywhere.
Interesting.
So there's a big misconception, especially for those that don't know how that shit works. Like, the only tab that really goes with you anywhere is like sapper tab, ranger tab. It's not the same sapper. We've already been
We've had that discussion before.
I know we did.
But we had that discussion before. He's like, "Yeah, what'd you call them? I forgot."
So there's your sapper tab, your ranger tab.
No. What do you call
sharp?
No, not sharp. I think you either said a division or a platoon of sappers. I was like, damn, they just round them up and take all your sexual predators. All right, we're gonna send these guys out.
So, like, can you imagine going to the Navy and you have a tab that says sapper on it?
I could imagine that, yeah.
Oh my god, that would be so bad. People would either come up to you and be like, hey, I need to tell you about a sapper case, which you would have no fucking clue of what to do.
Or
they would think,
like, somebody get fucked up as an engineer? What happened, man? Someone fucking used too much det cord? What's going on?
We should start a new rumor, like the Marine Corps red patch.
What's the Marine Corps red patch one? The blood stripe?
No, there's a tab, and it's on their cover.
There's a tab on on their cover.
There's a red tab on their cover.
I've never seen
I can't
this.
remember what. I think it's for instructors of some type of duty. I can't remember specifically what it is, but there's a rumor that if you have the red patch on your cover, you have AIDS.
Wow, I like that one.
And it's a pretty well-known one throughout the Corps.
I was gonna say that's gotta be a Marine Corps thing because I've never heard that one before. I didn't even know there was a red tab that goes on any of the covers.
Yeah, you don't see it very often. It's for a very specific community, and you don't keep it all the time.
No.
So that's why.
When that started, there was a lot of people who were really pissed off. Who were like, yeah. "I worked really fucking hard for this. I'm in a good spot."
And now you're gonna say that I have this because I have AIDS?
And now you damn well know that there's gonna be some fucking brand new private who's like, "Hey, does that mean you have AIDS?" And he's just like, "What the fuck?
I'm gonna fuck you up,
Right.
kid."
And it's up to the corpsman to be like, "No, that's a fucking HIPAA violation. We would never do that."
Anyway. So let's talk about let's get into the topics now that we've got our little
another episode with Activision.
It's never gonna stop until Activision dies.
Can Bobby Kotick at least die? Because
I don't think it'll stop even then. If I'm being honest,
I would at least take that though.
I will say it is like having someone right here is a little awkward with me, like looking behind me like this, like.
Just give me a seductive look every time you turn around.
Sapper.
What do engineers have to do with this?
All right, so we're going to talk about Activision Blizzard files a motion to halt the California lawsuit. Let's zoom that bad boy in a little bit, shall we?
If you'd have been here last week, we kind of brought this up.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did. We theorized that this would happen. We didn't we brought up the fact that there was an ethics violation, and we thought that this might actually hurt the case and Activision could get away with it. Well, literally 2 days ago, Activision filed a motion to halt the fucking thing.
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that.
We both did. We both discussed this. And I just like how it's the day that I fucking post it.
You gotta watch the episode because Tim took your place.
Yeah. No, I was told. I was informed.
You saw the thumbnail I sent, right?
I don't think so.
See, this is why
this is I read your text, but I don't respond.
First off, fight me. Like, got one thing that I don't know what's going on. And besides, if you knew about what went in there so much, you wouldn't have asked me if Tim took my place. So.
No, I meant, well, the episode's been out for a week. So
I know, still.
No, it hasn't. The episode's been out since Wednesday. It's been out for 3 days.
It feels like a week.
Even better point.
He's on leave. It could be.
It was recorded a week ago. It's been out for 3 days.
It's basically a week for him.
Because I don't post it on Mondays anymore.
He's on
I
leave.
still got a whole nother week.
Which now I'm almost thinking that maybe I should post on Mondays again because of the fact that it seems to be that everything we talk about on that Saturday, there's an update on fucking Monday that just completely
probably.
invalidates everything we
Everything
just said.
Probably.
It's so stupid.
Well,
like,
the main reason you do it was because of the editing and stuff
well, it's
like
just
that.
the time it took to do it all. I was like, I'm wasting an entire weekend to fucking edit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just need the extra day so I can at least spend time with my fucking lovely girlfriend because she's the best and she deserves that. So
He did
anyway,
that for her just to see the clip of this.
what? What?
Oh, I said you said that just to make a clip of this and then send it to her.
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but I will.
You're welcome.
Activision Blizzard has filed a motion to temporarily halt the proceedings in the lawsuit filed against in July by the state of California. So the publisher claims it wants a break to collect evidence in connection to an unexpected allegations against California's Department of Fair Employment and Housing, something that could prove advantageous for Activision Blizzard.
This is the
Shocker.
first time I think I've seen them put out the full acronym.
No, I just would say the DFEH a lot because I didn't feel like saying the whole thing. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, on my end, it's reflecting the light.
Diva.
So, while the allegation, which was made last week, does not have a direct tie to its particular lawsuit, it is to do with the lawyers who filed the lawsuit. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. The lawyers who filed the lawsuit with the EEO are also the same lawyers who filed the lawsuit with the DFEH.
Yeah. So they're the ones that was settled.
Yeah.
To kind of give you a synopsis.
It sounds much like
The lawsuit that was settled, they filed it, and they're also filing this lawsuit, and it's just like this is two different lawsuits by the same guys. You can't do that.
Yeah, no, this sounds very much so similar, at least, to the Bill Cosby case.
In a way, yes,
the
but
people
this
fucked up what was going on, and I know that was his Fifth Amendment that they were violating, and that's
Right.
different. But still, it's the idea that this is a convenient technical reason as to why.
He
Right.
said he did that last week, and he was like, "It's like the." Never mind. It's,
I
not, it's not the Bill Cosby.
Well,
I'm
because
fucking
I was
stupid.
I was trying to do a direct comparison, and then I realized I'm like,
I mean, I would say it's in the same
I'm like,
ballpark,
it's
though.
same ballpark with the fucking conflict of interest, but at the same time different because one was literally the district attorney violating the Fifth Amendment and basically charging him with something that he settled already.
Yeah, that he had an agreement.
An
that would
agreement
be
to
used in
not get
court.
pursued, and
Yeah.
this whole thing is just like the two same lawyers filed two different suits against the same company. So according to the filing, the publisher is suggesting that there are conflicts of interest within the DFEH. That's because two DFEH attorneys who play leadership roles within the DFEH previously worked for the EEOC and helped to direct the EEOC's investigation against Activision Blizzard. The EEOC being the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, a U.S. federal agency that recently proposed a settlement with a games giant over similar claims. Because of that, the company has used the information to delay the state case against it in a bid to potentially disqualify many of the DFEH attorneys involved.
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon. Oh, you want to know a fun fact about Pokemon?
Jesus Christ.
What is that?
So did you know that Pokemon do not pee nor poop? They expend all their they expel all of their fucking, their waste through their special moves. So essentially, the Blastoise doing his fucking hydro pump on you is him pissing on you. And then, like,
Hold on, where did you get this information?
Reddit. And then Mewtwo is basically implanting, like, because he uses psychic abilities, so he's like dropping psychic shits in your brain.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Anyway,
I have so many questions.
right? So,
Fucking Reddit.
along that, PC Gamer is reporting that the company wants the case to be designated as complex, meaning it is moved to a court that's set up to handle more complex cases.
Hold on. What kind of a fucking rabbit hole on Reddit were you going down?
I
to
saw it.
find
I
this?
started on Twitter and then just went farther. So, it's also alleged that the California DFEH has made other errors, including destroying information, but the DFEH also accused Activision Blizzard of doing the same thing. Like, you destroyed evidence. No, you destroyed evidence.
Are we on the playground? Is that what's happening right now?
Essentially, we're in a legal playground.
Kinda.
That seems to be the thing because Epic Games and Apple fought over a naked banana. We're just making a mockery out of the court system.
That's a real thing that he just said, by the way. and I was actually reading, like,
It's a legitimate article.
I
told
was-
him about it.
I was literally reading the transcripts from that fucking trial of this whole thing, and I even said out loud, like on air, I was like, I cannot believe that I'm reading a real court transcript right now.
Yeah.
Like this is a real court record that I'm reading. This cannot be a fucking real.
And they're
thing.
talking about,
And it's literally just people arguing over a fucking banana on Fortnite. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What I even said, like, what am I reading?
like,
Yeah.
that's so.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
It feels
We're
very
just-
much so like how far we have fallen.
Correct.
Yeah, we're
We
just
know.
making a mockery out of the court system now. We're children in adult bodies.
Yes.
And we're trying to make it look official.
So, an Activision Blizzard spokesperson explained to PC Gamer that we look forward to resolving the case of the DFEH, but in an appropriate court. Expect this case to run for a while.
Yeah, probably. What's gonna make it run longer?
What is
Is
this?
that holy ad?
I just hit the back button. No, it didn't take me there.
Oh, I thought you just scrolled down.
No, I hit the back button.
I've seen some fucked up things on this computer already. I'm not surprised.
This isn't the same computer.
It's the same place and the same people.
Correct. All right, so to piggyback off that one,
It would behoove you.
it would behoove you to listen to this one. Activision Blizzard is disciplining workers while delaying the lawsuit. So Activision Blizzard says more than 20 employees have exited the company and more than 20 others have faced disciplinary action in the wake of a lawsuit detailing culture of sexism and gender-based discrimination at the company.
And that refers to like
Which, by the way, they are denying the fuck out of.
Well, no,
Oh,
that
yeah.
I think that's also. I saw a similar article that had mentioned that, and they were more referencing the amount of people that have like stepped down and exited the company and stuff.
So let's read this. The news comes from an interview between the Financial Times via Kotaku and Activision Blizzard Chief Compliance Officer Fran Townsend. It doesn't matter what your rank is or what your job is, Townsend said. If you've committed some sort of misconduct or your leader who has tolerated culture is not consistent with our values, we're going to take action. The Financial Times also included a long email Townsend sent to staff about the company's plans to restructure its ethics and compliance and employee relations teams. She said Activision Blizzard had hired 3 new staff members to investigate reports of misconduct and plans to hire for 19 more roles.
Jesus Christ.
This apparently hardline approach to misconduct reports is an abrupt about-face for Townsend, who initially dismissed the suit filed by California Fair Employment and Housing as meritless and irresponsible. Oh, this is the one that tweeted about whistleblowing.
Yeah,
This is the same fucking bitch. So,
who used to work for the Bush administration?
yep. The response led Blizzard employees to organize a walkout and protest. Before joining Activision Blizzard, Townsend served as assistant to the President of Homeland Security and counterterrorism during the Bush administration.
Wow.
In that role, she defended the Bush administration and Bush administration's use of torture.
Man, it's like I've just fucking read the article, which I haven't, but
Yeah, I know. A separate development, Activision Blizzard. I don't care. We literally just said that.
oh, we're in another repeating article.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, that's the end of that. So essentially,
Holy ad.
what a wow. Hey, you know what? I can get rid of that
We're
real
really trying to
quick.
get sponsored, aren't we?
No, we're not.
Gee, Bagel Bites really wants us to fucking have them because
Sponsored by whom?
Lord.
Yeah. So that was a clickbaity ad or clickbaity article, wasn't it? Because it said Activision is disciplining employees while delaying the lawsuit. I'm like, oh, they're disciplining people while they're, for coming forward. I'm like, no, they're disciplining people that were doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask that question.
Bring your
I
mic
was
to your
Is
face.
this like reprisal, or are they like you sexually assaulted
Bring
someone?
it to your face.
They're just bringing people to the article.
I'm sorry, Nelson. I'm sorry.
If I could cite you any harder.
Thinking one thing.
Listen, man. Like I said, you'll eventually get used to it. It's weird at first. I understand.
What,
This,
having something in
this
your face?
conversation already feels
Just
creepy.
remember, at any time that you bring your face away from it, I hear you less. So make a subconscious thought of that.
Mm-hmm.
Bring about your naval traditions and put it in your face.
Listen, I'm just not used to it like you are.
I'm probably just gonna get you one of those fucking those headsets that you see on concert stages where it's
No.
always in front of your mouth.
We know how we get him to learn.
You're
We
gonna be
put
looking
him
like
in the
Tony Robbins.
beginning. You're gonna have the fucking mic stand like I had when I first started.
Oh, we're gonna give you the fucking like the platform stand,
That you have to like.
or I'm just gonna get
Come to
the
it.
same microphone that fucking Tony Robbins uses, and just like the headset piece that comes around. Like
It just stays right here.
it stays like it's like inside of his mouth.
Yeah.
Like, what is up with the fucking like motivational speakers that literally eat their microphones? It's just like it looks like it's like right, it's fish hooking them like they're getting fucked in a porno. Like it's just, I don't get it.
That was quite the description.
Yeah, I know. This got really aggressive
Y'all,
really quickly.
What, you guys never fish hooked a chick?
It's
You never fish hooked a chick?
not on purpose. I
While
guess.
getting her from behind, you never just like put your fucking finger in her mouth and pull her cheek back?
No, I'm a little bit more focused on other things.
I must be a dirty bastard then.
Yeah, I thought we described like a few times ago now that you were actually probably one of the more innocent of us.
That's true.
I'm more innocent in the fact that I haven't been with as many people, but I did say that just because I haven't been with a large number of people
He's less of a whore.
doesn't mean that I didn't do some wild shit with those people.
I'm just saying.
I did say that.
You should find the episode where
Is the light bothering you?
No, I just noticed it.
you should find the episode where he talks about this female in Italy.
I think we talked.
You
about
mean
that
my
last time.
ex?
I think we talked
I
about
don't
that last
remember.
time.
No, it wasn't.
There was no female in Italy.
We talked about women and something about Italy like the last time.
Yeah, there was no female.
I think
in
it was
Italy.
a stripper.
Oh, me dildoing a stripper.
That might have been, yeah.
Yeah, that was just a dildo stripper.
There was no female in it.
I didn't fuck anybody. It was just I notionally fucked somebody.
No, there was not notional.
It wasn't my dick.
That doesn't
I mean,
mean it was
that's-
notional.
It wasn't my dick.
Notional means
It wasn't even a dick.
everything is
It was just a
imaginative.
phallic shaped object.
Your dick was notional, but the fucking was not notional.
I've never heard two men get more angry about what constitutes fucking someone.
Notional?
There was
With
no
not your-
notional fucking at all. This was actual fucking. I'm like, last I checked, I didn't put my dick in her, so I didn't fuck her.
The dick was notional. The fucking was real.
All right, so let's talk about Twitch getting hacked for the 17th time. That's an exaggeration, obviously.
I don't think it is.
So
It's happened more than-
it really might not be an
It's happened more
exaggeration.
than 17 times. Let's be fair.
Hackers are stealing Twitch streamers' payments on and Twitch cannot help.
Ha! Joke's on you. I'm not popular enough to get Twitch payments.
My $130 a fucking month that I get probably every 3 months.
Pretty much.
It's like, what are you trying to steal from? You're literally stealing out of a fucking beggar's cup at this point. All right, so a growing number of streamers on Twitch claim that their payouts from the site had been stolen after the thieves gained access to their accounts and redirected the payments to a new PayPal account. Twitch says it is unable to recall successful payments. So because the transaction went through, Twitch is like, it went through.
We can't.
Sorry, it's not you.
And it's because on the account it looks like it was
It's
Yeah.
under their payment
they
options.
Right.
Yeah.
it was approved, and like people are even doing it through two-factor.
So the first instance of the stolen payment issue was raised by Philadelphia, a partnered streamer with just under 10,000 followers. Philadelphia explained that someone had logged in and changed the payment information, resulting in his earnings from the platform, such as subscriptions, ad revenue, and bits, being sent to another PayPal account instead of his own. Reaching out to Twitch, he received a response that after investigation, it appears the payout was sent to the chosen payout method. Twitch support is unable to recall or reissue payouts that are cleared successfully.
You know, this is actually, I think, going to be this is larger than what we think, because the only people that are going to notice it are the large streamers that get consistent monthly payouts. Like,
And decently sized ones.
yeah, like for me and you, we just like
I just get excited that I got paid.
yeah, like when we reach the amount that they pay out to us, we're like, fuck yeah. But that could be at any real time.
Well, the thing how Twitch does its payouts is that if you make less than $100 in a month, you don't get anything.
yeah. I mean, it stays there, but once you reach that $100 threshold, it'll,
Then they pay you out.
Yeah.
So if you reach that $100 threshold, you get paid. But if you don't, if you're like $99.99, you don't get anything.
Until you reach that.
Yeah.
And then
The thing is, like with subs and shit, if they're gifted subs,
You only get
And-
half of that.
And not even just that, but like if they're gifted subs and they reach that the next month, obviously they expire, you're not going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go down. So, yeah.
So you got to think all these other streamers could be getting, like we could be getting our payments stolen, and we wouldn't
never
really,
know.
we'd never know because
Right.
we're not used to getting that.
Exactly. I mean, like, cool, you little fucker. You got an extra $100 in your account now, bitch. Anyway, so Philadelphia explained that some. Oh, and I already said that. So most streamers have payments stolen. Ooh,
More streamers.
more streamers have payments.
Not
You're right.
That is a big difference right there. Hold
Sorry,
on.
sorry. I've been having a lot of moments of dyslexia lately, and I don't know why.
That's not dyslexia. That's a whole different word.
Fuck you. So since Philadelphia's revelations, a handful of streamers have complained very similar situations. Sophie and DeKillzor and Elite Jonas 1, why is he not highlighted? Have all
Because
publicly
fuck
said
Elite Jonas.
have all you don't matter, you don't have enough. So all publicly said that their payout method was changed to an account other than their own. Someone gained access to my account, changed my payout from Wire to PayPal, and added their own PayPal. Killdozer said. Killzor explained.
Jesus Christ. So he was like yours. He had his going to his bank account.
Right, and then they went in there and changed it. You know what? This is gonna have to become a habit now. You got to regularly look at your shit to make sure that your payout method is the same,
Mm-hmm.
which is annoying. And then who knows? Maybe they could fucking change it again right before the 15th because that's when they pay out.
It's true.
So in response to Sophie, Twitch said there is no recourse to reverse transaction. They also advised creating a new password and ensuring that two-factor authentication is up to date. The streamer says two-factor was enabled and still is, yet the payment method is still being changed. She says, just frustrating now my password was changed, my two-factor was on, it still is, and they're still changing my payment method. Why don't you want to even investigate how they're doing this to protect others? And then they said, hello, Sophie. I am sorry this is stressful. I understand the importance of this matter for creators. As communicated previously, unfortunately, there's no recourse or reverse of this transaction. We're unable to claw back the funds and reissue payment. They just don't want to. Please make sure that you can update your payment method. You fucking cunt. Creating a new password, redoing your onboarding if necessary as well. Lastly, I'm sure your two-factor security is up to date. Once again, we apologize for the situation. So this is basically they're saying we're sorry that this is happening and we're not doing anything about it.
Well, it's in a sense because you got to think that the reason they can't truly do anything because it was a successful, quote unquote, successful payment is it's also going to get away from those people that would take advantage of this. They say, oh, my shit got changed to a new account, whereas they change it to a new account that goes to them that wasn't being previously used. And then Twitch is like, oh, okay, we'll give you a new payout. So then let's say they make $1,000.
Can't take advantage of it.
Yeah, and then they would make $2,000.
Gotcha. I mean, that makes sense, but also if they can investigate and prove that this is not an actual, like, legitimate account of yours. Like,
Even if it's just like, hey, if we can prove that this is a legitimate case, it may not be now, but you will eventually get your money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some form of like, hey, we're working on this would be nice, but it's just kind of like, hey, did you make sure that thing that you already told me was working and is on, that protective factor, the two-factor authentication, is on? And sorry about it, bud, but we can't do anything about it.
That's
It's
what
not
they've gotta-
reassuring anything.
They've
Not
got to
saying,
fix that.
well, yeah,
Hey, we'll
the
look
hackers
into
are
it.
getting past the two-factor now. So it's like, okay, so if they can get past the two-factor and all the security measures that you have in place to make sure this doesn't happen, and Twitch is like, well, we can't give it back to you. We just can't. It's
Right.
like, so you are not protecting me as the creator. And of course, it's oh shit. Oops.
Hey,
you gotta watch
we gotta
your-
watch what you're doing when you hit the.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
You know, it really affects the audio.
Yeah. All right, so Twitch concludes that the best thing we can do is take all the precautionary measures to prevent any compromised situations again, but does not specify what these measures would be. Elite Jonas said that they had $347 taken from their payments sent to their PayPal. Advice from Twitch support again was to change passwords and activate two-factor. Hi, Elite Jones. Sorry to hear about this. For payout issues, please open a ticket with support team, blah, blah, blah. Already did 3 times, and they just said I have to change my password and two-factor. and I can't use that to something. I need helped to get the money I worked for back on my own PayPal account. $347 is much for a small streamer, and it is. He's not wrong.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I got excited when I had
That's a car payment.
shit, dude. My highest payment was like $220, and I was like, "Fuck yeah! I'm buying some new games."
Yeah, I think my highest was like 180, and I was like, I came from that one. So, as Elite Jonas says, 347 is not an insignificant amount for anyone, but especially a small streamer who may be supplementing their income with streaming, which is what most of us do. There has been some speculation that stolen payments could be linked to the major Twitch data breach that took place earlier in October. However, the platform indicated the login credentials were not compromised in this breach. Dexerto has reached out to Twitch for comment.
How to watch multiple streams at once?
Yeah. So once again, Twitch.
I mean, that's about as much information as they're really giving you.
So once again, Twitch is having a fucking another issue. Like and it is, and they wonder why people are leaving for YouTube.
The sad part is this part specifically, I am less inclined to blame Twitch overall and more equated to a lot of the hacks that have been going on in general. Like even Google shit's been getting hacked.
Yeah,
lately.
everyone's been getting hacked. I understand that, but it's like it should also be on the company to try and make it right in some way. You know, because like you had this data breach, which is whatever, because everyone's payout information got put out, and that's cool. Like cool, Nick Merckx made 17 million last year. I don't give a fuck. But like now it's getting to the point where people like small streamers are getting money stolen from them.
Mm.
And Twitch is like, can't help you. And it's like,
not even like a, hey, we're looking into this.
They're not even saying that they're going to look into it. They're just saying make sure that your security measures are on your end. And they're like, they are on. How about you fucking help me on your end? And they just don't respond. So it's like, okay, you've had several people now, multiple, come up with this. And and like they probably don't even network with each other until now. And they all have the same thing going on, which has you thinking now, like, okay, so now it's going to make sense that all small streamers are going to get targeted for this because their payouts are too small to even notice. Most of us don't expect one. We're prime targets. So if we don't get one, we just think, well, we didn't make enough.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's going to make us look into this because they've changed their information and they still had money taken from them.
But they changed their password and the two-factor.
And they enabled the two-factor, changed the password, all that shit, and they're still getting money taken from them. So it's like, okay, what are you doing about that?
What I'm wondering this could be potentially tied to is like the two-factor stuff. And like even, let's say Google Chrome. I think it could be more based in Google Chrome too. Because a lot of people, well, not Google Chrome, Google in general. Because they'll store their passwords within Google, right?
I don't.
Like a lot of,
depending on
a
what it is.
lot of people.
Depending on what it is, I won't.
But they'll save their passwords in there, and or even if people's phones get hacked, they get their passwords in there. And like I use the Authy app.
So do I.
Yeah, and that's part of the two-factor, and it generates a code for like 10 seconds. And if you don't put the fucking code,
It changes the code.
Yeah, put in another code because it re-updates every 10 seconds. If they get that password, then they basically got their two-factor as well.
Right.
So it's almost like not having two-factor. And
because they've been able to get your information for the two-factor to where it's now linked to them. So now when they, log in.
And the majority of people use the same or similar passwords for a lot of things.
Yep. Did Facebook ever announce what their fucking name change was going to be?
No, I don't think it's till the 28th.
I care.
I think it's going to be interesting. Because you didn't hear about that?
No.
Facebook is changing its name and brand to be
don't read the fucking
one whole
group chat.
meta platform.
Dude, I've been on
apparently.
leave. I haven't looked at done shit.
Oh, you are on leave.
I am.
Yeah, he's been on leave.
Oh.
But he's also not reading the group chat because I put that in the group chat.
Yeah, no, 100%. I haven't been reading group chat. I don't fucking leave. Bitch. Fuck you.
Our group chat.
I remember leave.
Our group chat. The one between the three of us.
Speaking of that kind of shit, that recruiter reached out to me yesterday.
Oh, did it?
He was just like, "Hey Brock, it's so-and-so. He's like, you want to get back in?" And I was like, "No, I do not." I said I hung my boots up and I'm off to other things. And he just said, "All right, well, good luck, best of luck to you, brother. If you have anybody that you know wants in, just send them my way." And I'm like, and he just left it at that. And I'm like, cool.
You can get some new boots if you're in list.
Listen to this. I actually did some research on this just for knowledge purposes for this kind of argument. So, and this is also coming from Tony, who was a recruiter and also researching through the VA. If I were to re-enlist right now into the National Guard, I would lose my disability.
Mm-hmm.
So because they will not pay, the VA and the military can't pay you at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to choose one, right? You get paid by the VA or you get paid by the military. You can't have both. Pick one. So essentially what it would be like, I could keep my VA disability, but I wouldn't be getting paid for any of the drills or any of the orders I got put on.
Mm-hmm.
So what the other thing on this, and this is something I didn't know that until Tony told me, was that what happens is when you go back in on disability, even when you're on disability, you lose a percentage. And when you lose that percentage, you can never get it back.
Because you chose to do it.
You chose to do it. So you had the option to come back. You'll lose a percentage of your disability, and I want to say you lose like 30% of it. And if you lose that, you were barred from ever getting it back.
So the max that you could ever get for you at that point would be
Whatever.
70.
Right.
Well,
So if let's say you were at 100%, I don't think at 100. Well, no, at 100% you can go back. So, but like it would bump you down. So you would lose a percentage of that disability, and you would never be allowed to claim that again.
that sounds wrong.
It is wrong, but at the same time, it's like you're on disability and like you're claiming disability and getting payout from the government. If you go back in and further that disability, like then now it's like, okay, we were already compensating you for it.
Yeah.
We're not liable for what happens afterwards.
It's like it's like paying someone for feigning an injury, or like after they've recovered.
Right. So I was just like, if I were to re-enlist, I would be fucking myself over with my disability.
Right. No.
And even worse, National Guard can't be claimed. Your National Guard time cannot be claimed at all.
Wow.
And I didn't know that until I was like, I did 8 years, 4 years active, 4 years guard. Like the VA disability only accounts active time.
Yeah, it's because it's super hard to.
They said that you can only claim National Guard things if it happened while on active orders.
Yeah, you have to be on orders, because otherwise it's damn near impossible to equate if it was
On duty or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got
So-
you.
Like reservists.
Right.
Pretty much the only way that you could ever like prove that is like you were actually on drill on some kind of orders, and then you got hurt, even though it was a 4-day weekend of drill, and you got hurt in a training area. Like then, sure, we'll throw that in your treatment record because you got treated on base. Essentially, that's what's going to have to happen. But
Like
if-
your brother.
But you were at the armory, and then you happened to just go out to eat, and then you fucking slipped and fell and cracked your skull. Like you can't get anything for that.
But like your brother's situation, he's supposed to be.
He's in a weird spot. He could get covered, but the thing is, he could very well also not. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so let's talk about Google filing a counterclaim against Epic. So Google files a counterclaim in Epic Games lawsuit saying it's owed financial relief. Google is owed financial relief.
Yeah, so they're doing the same thing that So it's called a counterclaim because they're doing the same thing that Epic did for Apple, but Google is doing to Epic.
That's pretty epic. As the Apple versus Epic Games lawsuit goes under appeal, Google on Monday afternoon filed an answer in a counterclaim. It's Epic Games' antitrust litigation against the company. The tech giant Android maker denies. Let me make that a little bit bigger.
What is going on in this picture?
It's Fortnite characters.
Oh.
Diving for mobile app. It's an Android phone.
Stupid.
Yeah, shut up. So, the tech giant and Android maker denies Epic's allegations of antitrust behavior and instead says that it's owed relief.
Wait, Google makes Android?
Yes.
They have Google phones that are totally separate, though.
They make both. They have with Samsung, LG, and then like because all those other phones that are not iPhones are run off the Android.
Yeah, I knew
and then
that.
Google has their own Google phone
Yeah,
that's run through Google. So anyway,
interesting.
so Epic Games breached the Google Pay developer distribution agreement by allowing Fortnite players who download the app through Google Play to use Epic's own payment processing technology. This situation is similar to what took place in the App Store, where Epic Games updated its app workaround App Store policies and then facilitated payments through its own payment system in violation of its legal contract with Apple. The court's decision in Apple's case was Epic owed financial relief to Apple in the tune of $6 million. Epic Games did much of the same thing on Google Play. The counterclaim alleges. Last year, Epic submitted a build of Fortnite to Google Play, which used Epic's own direct payment system and not Google Play billing. This submission was immediately rejected for failing to comply with Google's policies. Epic then submitted a complaint version in April 2020. So essentially, they did what they did with Apple. They had their own thing, which was a violation of the contract, in order to entice a lawsuit. That's what they did with Apple.
Except the thing is that,
well, they were this. We never really talked about this, but Epic was also going to sue Google.
yeah,
That just never got. That didn't start yet. They were going to file a lawsuit with Google, and now Google is quickly counterclaiming it before that lawsuit gets filed.
and this actually makes a lot of sense. So you know how when you, for like Twitch, for example, when you're on desktop and you get the sub, it's $5.
Yeah.
But if you're on your phone and you do it, it's $6 because
What?
that extra, yeah,
Really?
yeah, because that extra money goes to Google because you're using it through the Google Play.
Really? That's why it's $5.99 on, and why? That's why it's $5.99 when I'm on my phone and $4.99 when I'm on my computer.
Yep.
Shit.
Interesting.
Because that extra $1 is how Twitch it complies with Google, and they get that
That makes sense then.
amount of money.
Got you. So it's actually cheaper to sub through your computer than it is on your phone.
Yep.
So Epic Games did much of the same thing on Google Play. Last year, Epic submitted. Oh, I already read all that. The new version of the concealed Epic's payment system is an update that was sent to both Apple and Google's app stores. This would allow Epic to switch over its own payment system, applying server-side configuration change or a hotfix without Google's knowledge. That switch was flipped on August 13, 2020. It allowed Fortnite users to choose between Google Play billing and Epic's own direct payment system. This move was meant to trigger the game's rejection from the app stores. See, it was intentional, paving the way for Epic to pursue its planned litigation. Google said it notified Epic Games on the same day the hotfix was applied that it was in violation of the DDA, Google's malicious behavior policy, and the Google Play billing policy, and removed Fortnite from Google Play. However, it did not disable Epic's account, so the game maker could still resubmit a compliant version.
What do you think is worse, going up against Apple or going up against Google?
I think they're both equally bad.
I think Google's worse.
Google, I don't know. It's hard to say. They both cover so much.
They're both massive. I mean,
I think Google is bigger.
My dick's bigger. Anyway, so
Is it? Is
Yeah.
it though?
it is.
So,
So,
you
however,
mention yourself or us?
I'm saying that for in general. My dick's bigger. Anyway, however, Android users who had downloaded the game from Google Play could still use Epic's own payment system even after the app was pulled down, allowing Epic to evade contractually obligated service fee to Google, the counterclaim states. Google is asking the court to award restitution and the loss of feeds and additional other damages. You hurt me. I always think of damages as dumb. Like, you damaged me. Like, Google, you are a multi-billion-dollar corporation. No one hurt you.
I mean,
Show me on the doll where Epic touched you.
It's just a very large. Dog.
So, in addition to other damages, attorney's fees, and interest, and any other relief the court deems necessary, Epic, a multi-billion-dollar company backed by two of the world's largest video game developers, has profited immensely from the safe, secure platform provided by Google Play, a platform for which it pays free, equivalent, or less than that charged by other major platform providers.
What are the two major companies that back them?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Oh, I think they were saying Apple and Google.
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's what it's referring to.
So not satisfied with those immense profits, it entered into a legal agreement with Google with which it never intended to comply, deceiving Google into concealing its true intentions to provoke a legal and public relations confrontation that continues to this day. Its actions have put its own users at risk and have harmed Google and are deserving of relief from the court, it says. Epic Games has no further comment in this new filing.
New shit or old shit, new case.
Yeah. However, Epic's position has been that Apple and Google's requirements to use their in-app payment systems exclusively is a monopolistic practice that disadvantages developers. In Apple's case, the court agreed that Apple should not block developers from sharing a link and other payment methods inside their own app and communicating to its customers. It did not declare Apple a monopoly. But Google's situation is a bit different, as Android already allows for side-loading apps. That means there is another method for reaching Android users outside of Google Play, making an antitrust claim more difficult.
Well,
So they may not win
Epic,
this one.
Epic may actually come out on top on that one because they're that's the thing that Google does. You can use third-party apps to fucking to circumvent the Google. You only through Google Play do you have to pay Google. Whereas Apple, you only have the App Store. Google Play isn't the only thing. You can download another app from Google Play, but it's all. I mean, no, I guess there are other downloadable ways. I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. It's too much.
So I'm thinking it might be that. Let's go back up real quick to that part.
This
Yeah. So it's saying.
an Android already allows for side-loading apps.
Okay. Yes. So I know what they're talking about. So like the best, ironically, the best example I've got is the like Pornhub app.
You can't get it on Google Play. You got
Correct.
You got to download it from their site.
I don't know if it's from their site.
You got to
But
download
you-
it from something.
Yeah, you can't get it on Google Play though, but you can still get it. And like Flappy Marine, the Flappy Bird. but
Flappy
it's-
Bird.
No, it's Flappy Marine.
Wait, there's a fucking Flappy Bird Marine version.
Yeah, so it's got like the things that they have to go in between are green weenies, and you're a little Marine that's like going through. It's fucking hilarious.
I remember when Flappy Bird got taken off of the app
Yeah.
stores because of
And
The creator did it.
the creator did it because he was like, it has ruined my life. I'm like, it made you so much money.
No. He said it was ruining other people's lives. Like people were becoming so addictive, and he didn't. Well, that wasn't his intention.
I got pissed when that happened because I was on this piece of shit iPhone 4, and
this piece of shit.
And while I'm sitting there waiting for a jump, sitting whatever I'm doing army wise, because you know us in the military, we have so much downtime. Even though the military thinks that we don't, but when we're hurry up and waiting, there's just so much downtime. We're just sitting there and like Flappy Bird was it. Everyone was on Flappy Bird.
Mm-hmm. But you can download that, and it's not on the Google Play Store. But Android allows you to be able to do that. You just accept the risks or whatever that come with that.
Yeah.
Apple, you can't do that. You
No.
legitimately can't do that on their system. It's either Apple Store or nothing. So that's what they're talking about, because Android you can use another method of downloading an app, and then
And the
if
risk
it's
is
not
just taken up by
yeah, and
you,
then Google Play, they're not authorized to get that money.
So I almost wonder if like if Epic did that, and then Google's like, you can't do that, and they're like, we're suing now.
because they're on the Apple Store or the Google Store,
Right. Right.
but you could download it.
You can download
Outside of
you
the
can
Google
download the
Store.
game to Google from Google Play, from the App Store on there. But you can also go on to Epic's
Website and
their
do
website and download the app.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. That's where I'm thinking the issue
Yeah.
is, because they're doing it both methods. So a good majority of people are finding it on the Google Play Store, but if you download it from their website, it's not going through Google Play.
Right. Right.
So they're circumventing that, but they're taking advantage of both sides.
Yes.
Going through Google is not your only option, whereas going through Apple, if you're on their
the
system, that
only
is
option.
your
Yeah.
only option.
And that's what they're saying. That
So hold
was
on,
an
why
easier
did you,
case.
So why did you? Because you explained that fairly well. Why did you open up with Pornhub and then we got to Flappy Bird?
Because those were my two examples
I mean,
of
Flappy Marine. Let's
Flappy
be
Marine.
clear. Flappy
because
Marine.
those are two apps that people when the Flappy Marine was more funny,
Well,
but
they're-
Pornhub is an example of an app that you can download on Android that you can't get through Google Play.
You can't go to the App Store. You can't go to the Google Play Store and download Pornhub,
Yeah.
but you can go to Pornhub on your browser and download the app from there.
And it's an app. It's the same
Okay.
app as everything else. But if you pay anything to Pornhub, it goes
Which
directly
has
to
to
Pornhub.
be crypto, by the way.
Nowadays, but that's beside the point. It goes directly to Pornhub because it doesn't go through
That's
Google.
why I wait for Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, it's free premium all over. Actually, I haven't even watched porn
They had
in months.
free.
Now I'm thinking about it.
I still
Yeah, it's
have
been a
the
hot minute
picture.
now.
I still have the picture of when last year when COVID was going, they were like reduce the curve or whatever, flatten the curve was what it was.
Oh, and Pornhub was free.
Yeah,
for the most part?
Pornhub was free for like 3-4 months of.
I remember
premium.
that too.
Yeah.
That was fucking
That's
hilarious.
It was. I may or may not have dabbled around in that just to see. I'm like, what does premium give you that normal doesn't?
Better videos, honestly.
Better videos like what? More videos?
Well, there's some videos that like I want to watch that one and it's premium and you're like fuck.
Oh, got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
It's just better videos.
I haven't watched porn in months. I haven't needed to.
Because you live with a female that you could have sex with.
And she's fucking smoking hot. So
Some of us don't live with our females. Okay.
trust me, dude. You forgot that I was overseas for 3 years. I know.
No, I'm saying I have. A
You
girlfriend.
don't have a direct means of sexual intercourse on
Every
the
day.
daily.
Yes.
Whereas me,
Correct.
it's like the second.
And
I
I'm
come-
stateside.
I'm here. It's there every day. It's just whether or not which one wants to initiate it. And it's almost.
rub it in
And it's
some more.
always.
I mean,
sorry, boys. I don't mean to rub that in your face.
oh, what do you mean rub it in my face? I mean, if I want to get laid, I can get laid. I don't know how far away you live from your woman, but
Like an
do you-
hour.
Oh, like an hour? That's your own fucking
like
fault. I can't help you.
45
with-
minutes.
Okay.
Your
Notice
prospect
how
of your
I
own
said
decisions.
like an hour, not an hour. The wording.
Was
there.
yours like down the street?
I mean, essentially.
Was she live on MLK? What the fuck?
No,
Anyway,
like 5 minutes
That-
away.
we're
God
gonna
damn,
we're gonna
bitch.
talk about in a
You just
new
walk
world.
off base and be like, "Damn, she's hot."
So
Is that what happened?
I want to stick my peepee in that one.
She lives right there. This is the fucking one.
How close do you live? Cool.
I don't even have to drive there. I'll walk.
I'll walk and get my dick sucked.
Not quite close enough for me to want to walk, but
Only because that gate is closed right there.
all the time.
The walk-in gate.
No, his
So-
barracks is in like the back corner, and
Yeah.
it's like this. It's the gate that's open when the main gate's closed, but otherwise it's always closed.
Yeah, the gate that would be like actually beneficial for it to be open.
Oh yeah, I think I know which one you're
Is-
talking
is
about.
always fucking
I
closed.
know. I never understood that. Never.
Back in the day, they used to
There's
have
a- I-
3 gates open all the time.
I can't tell you how many times I've been on base. I'm like, there are so many gates to get out. Like, it's just I have to really bob and weave through the entire base just to leave one fucking spot or come in.
I don't
one.
understand why they keep the one gate that we use as a main gate. I don't understand why that's the one that's fucking open.
You know why? I
The
mean,
one
that
one that's by the
changed.
next and the one that's by our barracks should be the only two that are fucking open.
Back in the
on that
day-
goddamn
Back in the day, it used to be pretty much all those. You can pick your fucking gate.
That's how, dude. That's how almost every base is. This is like, with the exception of 2 that I've ever been on, 3 if you include the Navy base. Every base has several gates.
But they're not always open all the time.
No, but during primetime hours and shit like that, yes, they are.
Yeah,
But this base isn't big enough, or it doesn't have enough traffic.
But here's
for
the
it.
thing: the ones that aren't open all the time, they only close at fucking 10 p.m. So it's like, all right, if on a weekday that makes sense. Like, what the fuck are you coming back through at like 10 p.m. at night? Then again, I also understand what they're doing.
Up in Newport, it was like we had our quote front gate and our back gate, which were essentially from where I was at equal distance from the base, and on the base because it wasn't very big. So, and the only thing that they told us essentially was, unless something happened, that at like 9 o'clock the back gate would be closed.
It's like it's an ATFP thing.
Like that'd be it. And I was like, cool, like
Well,
it makes fucking sense.
It also really varies on the size of the base. Like bigger,
Yeah.
like especially in like you got like fucking Fort Benning, Fort Bragg. You got the ones in Germany. Like you have to have several gates. So otherwise, these spaces are massive.
And
You're
some
really
bases
gonna
do.
you're really gonna filter everyone in through one fucking gate.
And, well,
No.
yeah. I mean, the only reason ours is one gate is because like the size of the base with the amount
It's
of
small.
people
It's small.
travel wise coming in is not a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
we still
honestly,
picked
even
the worst
back in the
gate to
day-
use, though.
Honestly, even back in the day,
It really is kind of a shitty gate. There's really only you have to go one way on that road to even fucking get in there.
back in the day though, especially before like the ATFP stuff was really a major thing. like all the gates were manned.
Yeah.
They were all open at the same time.
It
That's
is-
why we never.
I don't even mind that we only have one gate that's really open for us. I'm not even
You
mad
just
about
don't
that.
like where it's at.
I'm just. It's completely inconvenient for literally anybody who
You
wants
gotta
to
flip,
use the base.
depending which direction you come from. You gotta flip the bitch to get in there. 'Cause there's
Like-
only one way to get in.
It's just it's fucking stupid.
It's a one road that
Because-
goes north, and you gotta be going north to get in. I know.
Yeah, essentially. But it's just stupid because it's like why are we using this gate? Like there's the one that's by the necks.
That used to be the main gate.
That should be the main gate because I can understand the one that's most convenient for me is not where everyone's going to want to go through, and I get that. But like either the one by the necks or the one that's by the fucking barracks, which gets the most fucking foot traffic. So, but no, now what they want is that anyone who's having to go anywhere on the fucking base because of all the stupid ass students that are on there. I hate the fucking students.
I think everybody hates the students.
It's because they just don't watch where they're fucking walking,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll try to walk somewhere that's not a crosswalk. Like I'll usually let them go if they're coming up to a crosswalk. Just be like, hey, whatever, just go, dude. You're fine. But then they'll like walk outside of the crosswalks, and then they'll look at us like, what are you doing on the road? I don't know, motherfucker. What am I doing on the road? I'm in a car. The fuck do you want?
What
How
are you doing on the
dare
road?
you.
Like-
You know what? I'm gonna be on the sidewalk. I'll meet you there.
Like fuck,
Bunch of fucking cunts. Hang on.
But since
Keep
they're
going with your discussion. I'll be right back.
but since they're like walking from the main gate all the way off the fucking off the
We've
fucking
been left. Rock has left the building. This is our podcast now.
No, we shall take over. But no, now the recruits are fucking walking from one side of the fucking base to the other.
The main gate used to be the one by the necks.
Well, it should be. though.
It changed. I think the reason that it changed was the decal place or was it pass an ID? I think
Yeah,
is that what it is? They made it to where it was right next to pass an ID. Then,
I didn't give a fuck.
well, it was just a little more logistical way for them.
That's still really dumb because could have just easily been like, oh, but now we can direct them to where past an ID is. There's an entire fucking parking lot. Hey, you can't come on base. You want to come on base? Take all your shit. Go to the fucking parking lot that's by the closed down gate that no one wants to use, and go in there and go in that fucking building. It's not that hard. It's really not.
There's a lot of things in the military that aren't hard, but we have the term breaking it down binding style for a fucking reason.
I understand.
Not wrong.
I understand that, but just tell them there's a roundabout right next to that parking lot.
It's not about that. You got to think of who's explaining it. Idiots.
Are you? I just realized that you have fucking pit vipers on your head.
I wear pit vipers every time I come here.
I didn't realize they were pit vipers.
Yeah.
You shopping on TikTok?
No, I've had these for years. I got these in
Before it was cool.
Yeah, Donnie O'Malley was the first person that
me
wore
see
these
this.
at the IW hikes in 2019. So in 2019, I was like, those are fucking hilarious. And after Donnie wore them, a lot of the IW people started wearing them. And now I'm seeing pit vipers fucking everywhere. But they're super popular within...
I like it on you. It looks good.
Let me tell you something, man. Yeah, I'm a cream of the crop all the way to the top. Yeah, the cream always floats to the top. Yeah, man. I'm telling you what, man. Yeah.
So we've got Macho Man on the...
That's the only
podcast
reason
now.
why I wanted to get pit vipers was so I can do that. This is the only reason why I wanted to get pit vipers, just so the mere fact I can do a fucking Macho Man stream.
Do it.
So I could be sitting here and be like playing whatever game I'm playing, and let it be like Squad or Arma or something like.
We got a helicopter coming in from the east side. Yeah, man. I'm telling you what, Hulk Hogan doesn't know he's coming. Yeah, I got the Macho Man. Yeah.
Do it.
I want you to do
This
a
would
whole
be a
stream
hilarious
like that.
stream to watch.
The whole stream.
I will be honest, that will be very difficult.
Do not break character.
That's hard on the throat.
It's so hard. I did an Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator stream for 10 fucking hours. That hurt. Sitting
Yeah.
here talking
fact
like this. I'm on the other side playing Warzone, using the DMR, flying around. I even get the dub one time, 2 times. Sierra
Yeah, we were
Connor.
playing that day.
Sierra
we got a few
Connor,
clips.
I'm coming for you. Terminated. Shit, like I did that for 10 fucking hours.
The whole time.
By the
Very,
way,
very
Halloween,
nice.
I'm doing that again.
The whole time?
The whole time.
And no, I'm actually quite impressed. I'm very proud of you. Like,
There's no other greater feeling than the pump. You see, it's just a similar feeling like coming. Can you imagine?
Dude spent like 5 minutes telling people how
Can
he
you
was getting
imagine
off.
when in the back room getting a pump and coming, when I'm on the stage and I pause out in front of 5,000 people, I'm coming. It's like I'm coming all the time.
Day and night.
Can you imagine? Day and night. Can you imagine I'm in heaven? All right, let's get
That man
back.
really got up in front of that fucking interview and for like 5 whole ass minutes
Talked about
explained about
coming.
him getting off to this fucking
And
interviewer.
basically, I said, when I work out, I come. That's essentially what we said.
When I get on stage, I come.
The feeling I get when I pump, it's like the same feeling I get in my dick when a bitch is sucking me off. So, all right, let's get back on topic because here we are, fucking 2 hours in.
This is like our second or third conversation about Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about coming.
We talk about Arnold talking about coming all the time.
Like, this is not even my first conversation.
You seem lost. Are you okay?
I'm trying to process
What you just heard?
what is happening right now.
All the shit that just happened.
Oh, you haven't seen the video?
I don't think so.
Do you have to catch up?
It doesn't recognize.
The Arnold I'm coming video.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys, you aren't going to be able to hear this. Now I'm thinking about it because I don't know.
We'll do it later when
Let's
we
stick
when we're
on
more
topic,
prepared.
sir.
Stay on topic.
Let's wait till we're prepared for this.
We're on like
Well,
topic
because
number 3.
There's no way for me to run audio unless you have a headset on. Because all the audio output and input runs through the mixer. So none of you would hear this.
That's not true. We've done it before to where like we've played the videos.
Right. I was using my laptop.
Do you not have speakers?
Not when I'm using the input output on this. No, I wouldn't be able to hear myself.
This is something we'll have to do for next episode.
We'll figure it the fuck
Yeah,
out.
you've got to figure that out so we can have that.
Listen,
segment
dude,
again.
I'm fucking new to this, and I'm figuring it out as I go. Okay, I can't.
So hold on a second, Brock. We've been new to this for how many episodes is this?
No, new to the fucking using a PC.
Yeah, the PC part.
The PC
Every
part is the one
episode,
that's,
I'm new to this. How long are we gonna be new?
until I've been doing it for 5 years. Like I'm new to this. Like you got to think, in the last 2 years, how many times have I switched what equipment I've been using?
I wasn't being serious. You didn't need.
I know, but I mean, like, how many as often as I've switched equipment, like I keep running into issues because I switch equipment a lot, and now hopefully, all I gotta do is just switch the layout of the equipment, and the equipment I have right now is gonna stay for the foreseeable future.
goals.
Yeah, goals. Right now it's really cramped, and I don't like that fucking tripod there. It's super annoying. Anyway, let's talk about New Worlds and its economy crisis. What?
It's just funny.
So New World is stuck in a currency crisis. And what is
So are we.
Yeah, so are we.
So are we.
So are we.
Same, New World.
New World is currently being affected by a deflationary currency crisis so bad that on some servers, players have started to bartering raw materials with one another instead of spending their increasingly valuable coins.
Huh?
As per article,
Fuck the store. I've got some fabric. You got some wood?
I
you
found
got wolf pelts?
I found one of the last trees in the next 50 square miles.
It's like an Ice Age. The last melon. Anyway, so as per article, Amazon's latest MMORPG is currently facing a troubling time with deflation. Unlike other MMOs, which often have a combat inflation caused by players generating more money through grinding out quests and amassing small fortunes, New World is facing quite the opposite problem.
All right, so I'm fucking stupid and I don't understand economy or economics, even though I got 100% in that class.
That's
Deflation
worrisome.
means
Deflation means that
things are getting more expensive.
things are getting
Less.
cheaper.
so they're
getting
getting
less
cheaper.
expensive.
They're getting cheaper.
Due to the rarity of the currency.
They're getting cheaper so that people can actually buy them.
Oh, because they can't find the currency.
Right.
There's no way for them to get the currency because there's not enough resources to earn the currency.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So, according to the article, the game's primary methods for distributing New World's currency to players across the world through monster drops, salvage, and completing quests aren't offering enough coins to keep up with the rate that they're exiting circulation
How did they exit circulation?
because they've made it a limited quantity.
Well, you got to think, though, too, that it's not like the real world where, like, hey, that'll be 50 cents for whatever this coffee grinder.
That you're not using.
Coffee included.
Which we never got them fucking made.
But the
Sorry.
point being is that what happens then? You would give me that 50 cents, and I would theoretically spend that 50 cents on whatever the fuck I need, right? Like more coffee grinders to sell for 50 cents. Point being, that currency doesn't disappear, but in video games, if I buy 50 cents worth of coffee grinder here, suddenly it's gone. That 50 cents doesn't stay in the game. It's been spent.
Right.
So it's just
Okay.
it's just gone.
So it's like going to an NPC, basically.
Right.
Right.
Gotcha.
So, there aren't offering enough coins to keep at the rate that they're exiting circulation as players spend their hard-earned coins. As circulation in the game
How much
decreases,
do you have in here?
Continue.
as circulation in the game decreases, this has resulted in the prices of in-game items such as crafting materials falling, not necessarily because that there isn't enough coin to afford them, but because the value of the currency is so much higher than the value of the goods. While the issue of deflation poses a number of problems to players in-game, the falling price of raw materials alone could affect the way the fans play the game in the future. As prices lower, this could potentially disincentivize players from leveling up certain skills in order to generate income. For example, if the price of raw materials fell sharply enough, the players may be less likely to sink time into mining them, as the return for the ore being sold would become so negligible that it wouldn't be worth their time. So essentially, it would take away the grind factor to earn the money if the materials were too cheap.
Interesting.
In some servers, player auctions reports the value of the currency is now so high that the players have regressed back to barter economy, where resources are being traded instead of coins. Players are now seemingly entered into transactions like a 1,000 linen for 600 ore and 20 eggs or star metal tools for 40 steel bars, in order to be able to hoard the coins that they have, while perhaps the apt way of trading in terms of the game's settling environment. For New World players, this only further exemplifies the problem that deflation causes in the game. How New World developer Amazon Games will look to address the issue remains to be seen. However, with the effects of the deflation likely set to worsen should the issue be left untouched, players will be hoping that potential solutions to its currency crisis arrive sooner rather than later.
Shit, they got a few more crises than that.
Yeah, but that's a topic for another discussion.
So I think society is just kind of ignoring the fact that Amazon is pretty much the company in Wall-E.
We were warned about this.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
They even have a new robot now. That's basically like Wall-E. Has like a face and everything, and it follows you around.
Yeah.
I would be so fucking worried about that. Like, I don't know who in a company is just like, hey, yeah, so we're going to build this robot because we think it's a really fucking good idea to, like, try to replace people, and we're not going to expect any backlash by this at all.
People aren't thinking about it. They're conditioning us.
I'm not even that smart of a person. I'm thinking about
They're that company that is making us those fat people that, like, we can't use our legs anymore because they just deliver everything to us. We're addicted to the screens. And we don't go anywhere. I just thought that was hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're making video games.
And everyone's so fat that their bones is separated from the ligaments or from the joints.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone just fucking carts around. No one's looked away from their screen for like 200 years.
And now they're making video games.
Yeah. So
They're taking over the world.
Grand Theft Auto, the Remastered Trilogy, which is GTA 3,
Is
Vice
that you
City.
or is that the chair?
What?
It's the chair.
Oh,
This
I just
way.
been seeing him doing this. I'm just hearing.
So the remastered
I
Grand
was
Theft,
like, dude.
the remastered Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I thought it was a shoulder too.
I thought he was popping. I was like, oh,
My
ow.
shoulder
It's like
does.
my rotator cuff hurts now.
My right shoulder
Thanks,
does
bud.
make a sound, though.
So the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, which includes GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, is coming out for $60.
Can we zoom in?
Here's a still from the remaster.
Can we zoom in?
Can you see it now?
Well, I meant more for the words, but yes.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to be reading much off this because I don't want to sit on this too much. So it's going to be $60. I'm really trying to find the comparison.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm not paying $60 for that.
I've already kind of decided I don't like this.
So there's the image of what GTA 3 looks like.
Now or remaster?
The remaster.
Okay.
And what it used to look like. Here's the 3, Vice City, 3, and San Andreas. The remaster. So obviously lighting, character features, and all that shit.
I want to see a comparison between new and old.
Oh, that's way too fucking small. Yeah, how about this? Comparison.
First thing to come up.
Oh, would you imagine that?
It's like Google is listening.
Oh, this is a video, and I don't want to watch it.
Boo.
So you can see this, right? I mean, there's a little bit more feature changes there. It's not too
Like
crazy.
lighting and shit, yeah.
And like same with this one, lighting, reflectiveness. Here's another one. Notice the reflections in the vehicles now.
I just remember all the boxy pixelatedness of all the old games back in the day.
Right. And I mean, essentially they kind of have similar qualities to that, but there's a little bit more. There's a lot more like definition in them.
I remember playing 50 Cent Bullet or 50 Cent. I think it was Bulletproof. Like, yeah, and I loved that game.
Like that's not Grand Theft Auto. That's the game that 50 Cent had.
Yeah, but I remember I loved that game, and I went back and put it into an Xbox once, and I'm like, this game looks fucking terrible. This is horrendous, and this was cutting edge. Jesus,
I mean, that's what they said. The feeling that you got playing the games that you played as a kid don't hit the same way as when you play them now.
Nope. Not at all.
That's why it's like I highly recommend you do not go back and touch the games from your childhood.
The only ones that I fully believe will stand the test of time are the more platform games like Donkey Kong, Super Mario.
Those will always, because they're kind of retro
Crash
and like
Bandicoot.
Yeah.
the 8-bit look has always been kind of like just the way it is.
Well, it's like there are some games that like you can go back to because it's like
platformers. I think are
well,
like,
I
it's
mean
weird.
they're in a different league, obviously,
Yeah.
but like it just depends on the true quality of your game. Like, and you don't know that when you're a kid. You know what I mean? It's like, could you imagine being a kid? Like when I was younger, like I wasn't like a kid, but when I was younger, I played like Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, right? Those are still good games, even if you were to try to play them right now, right? Because the mechanics are good.
This is why
You know what I mean?
That
But you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, I loved playing Peter Jackson's King Kong on the PlayStation. That game was the shit, and I probably put thousands of hours into that game.
Why?
Why? Because it was just fun, and I was.
was all he
bored.
had.
You thought that one was fun?
Yeah, King
What,
Kong.
with Jack Black in it?
Yeah, technically yes.
See, this is why I
game?
hate so many kids are nowadays.
But I also know too, like it was a decent PS2 game of the time, but like it was nothing amazing. You know what I mean? Like
Kids nowadays,
However,
they're growing up, their first games were like Advanced Warfare. Like the newer CODs where we're like,
Yeah, I know. Don't tell me.
like
I
Modern
know.
Warfare 3 was like their first ever COD that they remember. And that's
Modern
what they
Warfare
compare
3
to.
was our GoldenEye.
To them, yeah.
To them, Modern Warfare 3 is their version of GoldenEye.
And
That's
I'm
so
like,
odd.
stop it.
I'm like, shut the fuck
You don't
up.
This is why your opinion on games doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, and then when they
'cause you
say
don't
that, I'd be like, I
understand.
fucked your mom. Because I'm old enough and you're young enough where I could fuck your mom. Bitch. Anyway,
And I'd fuck her again, too.
so I might actually be your dad. So let's talk about the new Splinter Cell game.
ooh,
A decade later, Ubisoft has finally greenlit a new Splinter Cell, sources claim.
that's bad.
No thanks.
That's bad. Not because it's Splinter Cell. I'm saying it's bad because they waited that long to do it.
And we all know where this goes.
Which means that they're doing it for the wrong reasons, which means the game's going to suck.
And this is why I'm saying we're going to take wagers of what kind of game it's going to be. So this is according to development sources.
Or they're doing it to appease to
Who told us
generation.
the title has been put into production as a means of winning back fans frustrated by recent efforts to revive the franchise in mobile and VR spaces.
I need to start using my VR now.
You have VR?
It's not clear which studios are working on the project, though. Two people with knowledge of Ubisoft's plans suggested the new Splinter Cell was being led by a studio outside of its traditional Montreal base. The title is in early phase of production, and sources said there will be a small chance it could be announced next year. The much-requested sequel will arrive at a time when a company is looking to rebuild its image, which it's not doing a good job of, I will say. Following a wave of discrimination and sexual harassment allegations. Well, besides that, that's not why I was thinking that.
Well, the games really,
however,
but-
way to add fuel to the fire.
Yeah, good job, guys. Employees groups say that they are not satisfied with the level of action taken by Ubisoft to change its culture. Ubisoft declined to comment when it's approached ahead of publication. Splinter Cell is a series of stealth games, but we don't know. We already know this. We don't care. the most recent Splinter Cell game was 2013 Splinter Cell Blacklist. Hey! And the 8 years since its release represents the longest period without a new entry in the franchise since its debut in 2022. Fuck. Ubisoft already announced the new Splinter Cell project last year, but many fans were left disappointed as the game was announced as a VR-only title, created in partnership with Facebook. In recent years, the Assassin's Creed publishers have suggested it's been considering bringing back Tom Clancy's series.
It's a company currently known as Facebook.
Yes. Last year, CEO whatever said the Splinter Cell series needed to evolve before it could make a comeback. When you create a game, you have to make sure that you will come back with something that'll be different enough from what you did before. The last time we
Someone should tell Call of Duty that.
Yeah, I know, right? The last time we did a Splinter Cell, we had lots of pressure from all the fans actually saying, don't change it, don't do this, don't do that. So some of the teams were more anxious to work on the brand. Now, there are some things than some people that are looking at the brand, taking care of the brand, Guillemot said. So at one point, we'll see something, but I can't say more than that. And the executive also said the key factor in the way the Splinter Cell game has been success over Ubisoft franchises such as Assassin's Creed and the emergence of newer ones like Watch Dogs, which is not doing well, and The Division, which is also not doing well.
Yeah, it did for a long time, and then they ruined it.
I know.
I was
So,
never a fan of either game.
Let's
I
take
didn't either, but
a bet on what kind of game the new Splinter Cell will be. I think it will be an open world game similar to Ghost Recon right now.
I think so too because they're doing the same thing with Assassin's Creed.
Or it'll be, I mean, Assassin's Creed is always kind of open world with linear aspects.
They're significantly changing it. Though.
I know. Or it could be a battle royale, which I'll kill myself if it is. No, I won't. I'm just kidding. And I was gonna say mobile, but I don't think after reading this article they're gonna go that route because reasons.
Is it part of what they like? It's either going to be like Far Cry or Assassin's Creed. That's the only options they really have. Those
Or
are the
Ghost
two.
Recon.
Those
which
are
is
the
essentially Assassin's Creed.
Those are the only games that they've really made, and they haven't even changed anything in those franchises.
Every
about
game that they've done.
How about this? It's been so bad that there's been, if I remember right, there was several games that were Far Cry games that were literally, it's like Far Cry Primal, was just the previous Far Cry, but they literally put a little bit more of a jungle aesthetic onto it and literally just turned the map around. Like, it's fucked up bad. Like, they really...
Yeah, they reused assets and just changed
so
things
bad.
out.
And it's all just to make money, which is the part of the reason why I wasn't a fan of the whole, like, the GTA Trilogy Definitive Edition. I was like, oh, fuck yourself. Like,
The biggest issue with Ubisoft right now, and it's been prevalent in every single game, is that they're sticking with one formula for every game now.
yeah.
Except for Rainbow Six, which is like whatever. But the new title, like the X Defiant, which is a new game that they're coming out with, is essentially Rainbow Six Siege, but with every character in the Clancyverse. Like Sam Fisher, Division characters, Ghost Recon characters, and Splinter Cell characters, and Rainbow Six characters. It's essentially Siege with all of those guys in it.
It's
And
like a Smash Bros.
And they're like, it's a new IP.
shooter.
I'm like, it's not really that new. It's similar to an IP you already have. You're just adding different elements to it.
It's like a Smash Bros. But with shooters.
No. It's like an Overwatch or a Valorant with Tom Clancy characters. From the gameplay, like everyone's got abilities and shit, like kind of like Siege, but anyway. But the formula they've been sticking with has been the open world.
Yeah.
Every map is huge. There's different things you can do.
Oh, yeah, it's a sandbox.
It's everything. Not barely a sandbox. Like Arma is a sandbox.
Well, those are the new types of sandboxes, or open world.
Yeah,
shit,
like
but-
the mainstream AAA sandboxes. So, like, if you look at Ghost Recon, if you look at Watch Dogs, if you look at Far Cry, if you look at Assassin's Creed, if you look at Ghost Recon, they all have the same formula. Large map, open world, bunch of things to do, and then when it's all done, there's nothing else to do. In fact, Breakpoint was so bad that it had them delay every title so they can rework their formula, because they said that we missed the mark on this. Breakpoint was such a flop that they had to go back to the drawing board and rethink a lot of things. And then they delayed Watch Dogs Legion for that reason. And it come to find out, Watch Dogs Legion didn't really do well because it was bullshit. It was bad. It was essentially the same shit they've released every fucking year.
To me, the best Ubisoft games were the South Park games.
Yeah, because they were, South Park. But I
And
really
they were
hope,
really well done,
I want to see them do like how they've always done, like linear with like, open routes you can take versus open world with different like missions you can do and different items you can find. No RPG element like Breakpoint did.
Yeah.
That was another thing that they did that just did not make sense. Like we added RPG elements to this game, and then
No one asked for that.
and then what they did was they throttled XP and then sold you boosters.
It sounds familiar.
Well, this was before Avengers did it. So
No, I mean, it just sounds familiar. It's
that
almost
was
like
a topic
they're doing-
that was a topic that I forgot to add, but
we can add it later.
yeah,
can
it's
do
an
it.
old story, but we'll add it.
We can do it like next week or something if there's not a lot of stuff.
Essentially, like
But I thought next week was going to be the update on the.
No,
Activision case.
next week we got to do something special.
why? Because it's 69. Yeah,
Yes.
you want to dress like women?
We can do something.
I was kidding, but
Oh. You've already dressed like a woman, so I thought that was a legitimate question.
I am fucking starving.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong, though.
We'll figure something out, man.
No, I meant the question.
What?
Because you've already dressed like a woman. That's why I thought that was a legitimate question.
Sure. No. When do I ever dress like a woman? Are you talking about the drag stream?
Yes.
That was twice.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had the number off.
Apparently,
You did it more than I thought.
I mean, I got the fucking shit to do it, but like, do you?
I'll put my shirt up and make a fucking bra or something. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's gonna be like, that'll be the episode that gets us canceled. Excuse me, but are you making fun of trans people? Like, no, I'm just. Did you just assume my gender?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so Dbrand. Let's talk about this. Here is the PlayStation.
I thought I spelled that wrong. Honestly.
Here's the. No, you didn't. Here are
you
the
definitely spell Epic Games wrong.
Here are the PS5 plates that they are selling. Right?
Yeah.
See the differences?
Yeah.
So Dbrand reveals new PS5 dark plates days after pulling the originals.
They made them round too.
Yes, and they gave a vent on it. They put a vent on the side. So Dbrand has revealed new brand design for PS5 dark plates just days after yanking its originals from the sale. If you weren't familiar with the original dark plates, they looked exactly like the side shells of the PS5, but instead of being white, they were matte black. In this marketing of the first version, the company baited Sony to go ahead and sue us. And Sony, unsurprisingly, followed up with a legal threat. They said, "Sue me, bitch." And Sony was like, "Okay, bet."
Say less.
All right, say less. Shockingly, just days after making a big public stink about Sony forcing it to pull its old version, Dbrand already ready with a new design. Dbrand is already ready with a new design. The company says it's been in development since September, but conveniently would not tell us when Sony sent the cease and desist to begin with. Dark Plates 2.0 look a little different than the original model. While they still attach the sides of the PS5, the new dark plates are more rounded instead of having the quite as much of a sharp, popped collar look that's closely associated with Sony's console. They also now have a prominent vent right next to the PS5's fan. The new dark plates come in 3 colors: matte black, and a retro gray, and white. Here's the white. But is the new design enough for a difference to avoid Sony's ire? Dbrand claims so, even going as far as bold as some of the text for us. By creating a brand new design, Dark Plates 2.0 successfully closes the loop on its dispute and neutralizes any future infringement claims from Sony, which they're not wrong. There is a design difference here.
Yeah.
It-
It's a significant
It
design
visually
difference.
looks distinct. Like you can
It's-
tell that is not a
It almost,
Sony plate.
if it weren't for the V shape, you would never have guessed that that's a PS5.
Yeah,
it
I
just
actually-
looks. It honestly looks like a modem.
Yeah, when I looked at it, I was like, that's a PS5?
Yeah, it just looks like a modem.
It does, really.
So, however, the original cease and desist letter, Sony threatens to initiate legal action unless Dbrand does 3 things. 1, promptly and permanently cease and take down all marketing and promotion and cease all sales worldwide of faceplates. featuring the product configuration of Sony Entertainment and SIE's PS5, PSS faceplates, or any similar product configuration, including without limitation all faceplates currently for sale at Dbrand.com. Promptly and permanently, this is number 2, promptly and permanently cease and take down all marketing promotion for all cease all sales worldwide products packaging bearing the PlayStation family mark, the modified shape, mark, design, any PlayStation mark, or any other indica of SIE. And 3, prominently and permanently cease and take down all worldwide of the PlayStation marks, any similar marks, and any other marks, branding, or indica associated with SIE or its affiliates, including without limitation and within product names.
So basically, all they have to do is
change the design and remove the PlayStation logo.
yeah, just take off the logo. So they've already got the design, and it's
And the logo's not on there anymore.
yeah,
either.
that's all. That's literally it.
So Dbrand wouldn't go quite that far, saying the company is effectively complying with the items 2 and 3. The company also raises its own version of the question: is Sony still going to sue you assholes? The answer: probably. The difference this time is that we've created an original design which they have no basis to allege infringement, which is true. If they want to try, they better be ready to pay our legal fees.
Yeah.
The new dark plates will cost $60 during pre-orders and
It's
$70
$59, sir.
with taxes. You know what it's going to be, and $70 when they're available on the regular basis. Dbrand says the first batch will ship November, and stock will go out in monthly waves after.
Wait, pre-orders are cheaper?
Yeah.
Usually, yeah, I guess. But yeah, I can see totally why Sony really doesn't have a set. The only thing they could say is that like it goes on our product, which is like so do many other things that people sell that are third party. They can go on your product and not have your name on it. That's not infringement.
Well, because then at that point, though, too, then you got to be like, hey, so any kind of third-party USB drives need to be sued.
That'd be like saying you can't use a
need
SCUF controller.
You need to be able to sue anyone who has a phone charger that can go into your product.
Right.
You need to sue everyone who has any kind of like...
Which they cannot do.
My USB drive for my headphones, because they're wireless, it plugs into the USB drive. You need to sue those people who made that shit because, you know, it attaches to your product. Like,
Right.
You lose all traction there.
You do. And with these plates, because they don't have the brand and they are of a different design.
Yeah, distinctive too. Like it completely looks different. Unless you were looking at the face,
Even
like,
then,
you can't tell that is like, oh, that's a PS5.
the thing I'm curious of is why would people buy this if it's just like black?
Yeah,
this is where they're this is where they're starting. Okay.
Right.
If I remember,
they were gonna do. Like,
I want to say Dbrand was the first company to say that they were going to make custom like graphics and shit on them.
Okay, yeah, like I would understand
that would make sense, right? Yeah,
And
but like,
if I remember right, Dbrand started off with like we're going to do different colors and different graphics, but Sony hit them once before when they first announced this, the cease and desist order, that they couldn't even do that. So now that they did say before they were only going to roll out with like primary colors first, and the first 3 primary: black, gray, white. So
those are some really shitty first primary colors. I'm just saying.
it just gets it started, and eventually like you get other ones. So like, you know, I think this is kind of like a Kickstarter, so they could start making graphical ones and other colors. So like they're basically starting from square one, like just same with Sony when it comes to their PlayStations, and then they're going to expand from that based off of how well they do with these.
Because if it's graphical or some cool stuff, or you can get custom, you can put your own picture on there and they'll put it on.
Yeah,
I'd fucking buy that shit. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
how do you know he stole your PlayStation? There's a picture of me on it.
That's some egotistical shit right there.
Facts. All right.
Here we go.
Final topic, because I need to eat before we go to this haunted house, or I'm gonna fucking hate my life, and it's already almost 6 o'clock, so we're gonna have to breeze through this baby. Sound good?
Yeah.
Sound good. So Battlefield 2042's beta change.
See how it goes.
Yeah.
So Battlefield 2042's beta changes and lessons explained by EA. EA has posted a lengthy summary of changes and fixes coming to Battlefield 2042 as a result of player feedback from recent open beta.
Did you ever watch that video I sent?
No, I believed you. It was fine.
No, I mean it was a good video though. It got deeper than what I was talking about though.
Oh, okay. I mean, I just kind of whatever. So Battlefield 2042 recently concluded an open beta test, and EA has clarified what exactly learned from the experience. As with any beta, there are features that needed ironing out and bugs that needed fixing. Bugs are always a primary concern, leading some to wonder just how recent the Battlefield 2042 beta build was. Questions plenty are answered, suggesting new changes coming to the game soon. With Battlefield just under a month out, DICE is hard at work getting the game back in its best shape it could be on launch day. The beta tests, as the most direct way to get feedback directly from the players, are always full of messages about what is and what isn't working. Some bugs, like graphical glitches, can be easy to ignore, but those that affect gameplay are much more troubling. The game's launch was swiftly approaching, so the question remains whether DICE will be able to fix the majority of what is broken by then. The beta's bugs were numerous and don't bode well for Battlefield 2042, but EA is taking notes and letting players know that it's paying attention. We hear you.
So So you guys played the beta. What did you all notice?
A lot.
Watch last week's episode.
Lots of missing features.
No, I say that because it was an hour long.
So like the
discussion.
user interface was really fucking stupid. There was no map that you could see anything on. Like no mini map, no big map, none of it. The map was very spacious with very little happening in between. The biggest issue that I noticed was that the specialists all are identical, meaning that like the Russians and the US side don't have anything different from each other.
Yeah.
You run as the specialist, and everybody was running the same fucking one. So everyone, including the enemy, looked exactly like your squad. So you had no way of knowing, besides a small red nameplate above their head, whether or not that was friendly or not. By then it was usually too late. So everyone looked the fucking same. And that was my biggest gripe on it. And everyone's been begging them to change it. At least make it look different. I mean, give it a different variant for the other team. But no, in fact, they're doubling down and adding other ones. So it's like, you are not listening to us. We need more variety here.
They've always had other ones.
What?
Are you talking about specialists?
No, I know they always had other ones, but I'm talking about like the Russians have the specialists with the same abilities but look different versus having one specialist for both sides, which is what they're doing right now. So the grappling hook guy, right? The grappling hook guy.
Looks the exact same.
It is
on
the
both
same
teams.
exact
No, I understand
grappling hook guy for both sides, right?
It's just a visual of what you're talking about.
There is like
You need to be able to tell who's on your team and who's not.
Right.
No, I'm getting down to what he's referring to.
Yes, what I'm saying
yeah.
is like make a different specialist with the same ability. So like a Russian version of that guy.
That's what I thought you were saying. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Fuck,
But
give the man a beanie. I don't give a fuck. Like
just
something
make
needs to be
him look
different.
starkly different than the other one.
Yeah.
And they don't. They all look the same everything. And I don't. The camo isn't enough to me. Some people are suggesting we'll change the camo. I'm like, that's not enough. How are you like
The silhouette should be slightly different.
The
So it'd be
battles-
like, hey, that doesn't look
They need
like
to
any of our guys.
understand that Battlefield 5 tried that. They said that we changed the color. But it didn't fucking matter.
everyone looked the same?
Yes.
It's the same problem in this. Everyone looks exactly the same. You could change the color all you want. You got to change the character model entirely to make it even noticeably different. Because right now, like yes, in Battlefield 5 had the same issue. Everyone looked the fucking same, just the color differences, which wasn't enough.
Theirs was more environmental.
The environmental,
blending
everything
in.
blended in together. It was bad. But like with this one, it's like all the operators are the exact same guy. So you have like this U.S. operator with the grappling hook guy, looks like an engineer from Battlefield 4. Well, guess what? The Russians can also run that same fucking dude.
Yeah.
And he's American as fuck. And he has the same American accent. Everything. There is no differences at all. And yet, for some reason, he's on the Russian team. And it's like, how the fuck do I know? Even when you hear the audio cues, usually like when in Battlefield 4 especially, or even like in Battlefield 1, I don't know so much about 5, but when you hear like the audio from the enemy team, like not the voice chat, but like the character voices,
Yeah.
they were different. They spoke a completely different language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like the Chinese or the Russians in Battlefield 4 versus the Americans. Like it was always different. You always knew, especially if
'Cause it
you were
wasn't tied
Chinese.
to the
If you were
character.
China versus Russia, like it was different. Like it was tied to that team you were on. Whereas this, is the same fucking dudes that everyone can use, and you can never tell who the fuck is who.
Because those were tied to the team versus tied to the character.
Yes, and that's what they needed to still do, and they took that away, so everyone looks the same on both sides and sounds the same on both sides. There is no true distinction except for the color of their name over their head. That's the only difference. And in Smoke, the names go away, even on friendlies, so you don't know who the fuck is who, and by then it's too damn late.
The reason I said you gotta listen to the last one because it was an hour-long discussion.
Yes, long.
Okay.
And it was very detailed. Like, we went through a lot of stuff.
All right, so we're talking about the specialist classes. So Battlefield 2042 specialist versus classes, which is better? To prove that changes are being made, EA has released a lengthy blog post describing the great detail what they learned from the beta. First, to put the speculation to rest, the post confirms that the beta build was in fact from August rather than later, which is not fucking long time ago. By the way, August was literally 2 months ago. That's not old. Old would be like, this is from January.
You couldn't have a beta from back then, though.
Farther away? Yeah, you could.
It would, to me, it wouldn't make sense.
So, but there's much more than that. The post addresses a variety of topics, including loadouts, plus menu changes, and the ping system, and more. Though loadouts were limited in the beta, they will fully be customizable in the full game, as well as nameable, so they'll be easy to find. The plus menu will be more useful than in the beta, enabling attachment switches on the fly. The ping system has been overhauled to more responsive and enable better communication between teammates.
Yeah, the ping system was garbage.
Yeah, it did not work at all. Like,
Well, it
for us.
worked, but it wouldn't stay there.
No, I wouldn't.
It would. You'd have to actively see your person ping where you're talking about.
That's bullshit. See, like, because like when I played it with like my group, like half of us would see the ping and half of us wouldn't. And no matter what we did, no matter if we did it like in front of the person or no matter like nothing, like it just wouldn't pop up.
Are you talking about on a person or on an area?
Well, so
Either.
This says, here's hoping that it helps with team identification, one of the Battlefield 2042 beta's biggest problems. The thing we just talked about.
Yeah.
That's not all. Other changes include more tanks on orbital for PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, a grenade indicator added, health regeneration changes, big map, and Camaros, which is like the I need ammo, I need health, all that shit. The post mentions a key binding for Big Map, which is disabled during the beta, and others, like the health regeneration changes, are meant to make roles like Medic more useful for the game as a whole. The Camaros, in particular, its staple of the series, is helpful for quick communication in the heat of battle. So not having it in the beta was a strange choice. The list of
what?
Basically like the support wheel where you could call like, "Hey, I need ammo."
Oh, okay, I got
I
you.
need ammo. I need a medic. Shit like that.
Nobody ever fucking uses that shit.
I do all the fucking time, especially when I'm like, there's no communication outside of your squad.
Yeah, but I played so much Battlefield 1 that I was like, this is fucking pointless because nobody cares.
So, the list of tweaks and even on past what's mentioned here, so the game may look quite different come launch day. So the road to Battlefield 2042 has been long, and like all games, not without struggle. And blah blah blah. Battlefield 2042 preview is a love letter to fan. Oh, that's it. That's not enough.
Ooh.
I wish you had seen the video
I'm sure Game Rant will have more.
because
Let's see.
I love Ace's videos because he's very objective. He'll put his opinion into it, but he'll also bring up a reasonable solution to it.
There was more changes that they didn't mention. So let's see.
Significantly.
So firstly, DICE partially addresses the role of specialists in Battlefield 2042 alongside the reveal of the last 5 combat roles coming into the game. Primarily, DICE states that without the additions of the final build of 2042, specifically the UI, poor enemy identification, no ping system, and in-game communication, more on that later, prevented specialists from promoting teamwork in the build. However, the blog post does not go in depth about what's changing with specialists in particular. So they haven't talked about what changes they're making.
They did.
Did they? In
Yeah,
that video?
they have. Yeah.
So, and how they promote teamwork similarly to traditional soldier classes. DICE also addressed the players' concerns with performance, backing up the previous comment that EA's community manager is a few months old. We already said this. Beyond DICE, we also talked about bots. Oh, yeah, bots and servers. Instead of rotating and filling the spots with new players mid-match, some players had noticed the bots were a bit more prevalent than necessary in several matches, which DICE has apparently addressed here. DICE also mentions that an issue with players matchmaking in incorrect regions causing a high ping, of which they ironed out a great deal of those cases in time for launch, and will continue to monitor.
Now, when they mention the bots, are they talking about the things that you can call in?
No.
Or
I'm
just...
talking about, like, let's say
AI teammates.
Okay.
yeah, like we're playing a game. I dropped out, and instead of during the game they replace me. They just put a bot there.
So there's some more specific gameplay changes coming up 2042 as a result of the open beta. DICE addressed this issues of squad composition, tactics changed across all modes, as well as some additional changes in the enemy visibility and disparity. First was UI, which some features were not present due to bugs and experience. With the experience, the primary example is such as the big map, which we
Or
just
a mini
discussed.
map.
They will add that.
Yeah, they did say they were going to have that too.
So there's I said that it was the ability of bringing the map up in the game was removed. The DICE's post infers that it was causing an in-game performance issue. Also, contextual UI, like the kill feed, points allocation, support points, and other notifications like the previous Battlefield games have also been updated in the full release.
So on that, that was in his
that
video
was,
too.
That was one thing that I noticed that wasn't there that I talked about.
They moved it from it was on the side previously, and now it's like every other game where it's in the middle, like when it happens.
I didn't even notice it on the side.
Exactly, it was on the side. So it wasn't like your not the kill feed, but the achievements and stuff.
Well, I knew the achievements were, but the kill feed wasn't. So, like, your marksman bonuses, your support, like your suppression bonuses. By the way, I know suppression is not even in the game anymore.
So they added
I know
that
you
to the
hated
center
it.
now.
Is right, but the suppression mechanic as a whole is not in the game.
I don't remember.
Yeah, when you get shot
Yeah,
at,
I didn't notice that at all.
So when you notice when you how on every other battlefield when you're getting shot at, you're not accurate and you're moving around and shit and you're being suppressed. That's not in this.
Or if you're like trying to come out of cover and you're having to constantly duck back into cover because you're getting directly shot at, but they're not necessarily hitting you. That's the suppression, right? Suppression point, suppression assist, whatever it's called.
They changed the slide too.
It's not in this game. Like I didn't notice it at all. And me and a couple of my buddies were having like, not even like, oh, like we're using a sniper. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a little hard for you.
Notice
to
that you
suppress
couldn't. You noticed that you couldn't
like
change the
LMGs.
zero on your snipers.
Yeah,
That was the thing that I was like, why would you ever remove that?
And we
especially
come to
considering they've
notice,
done it well in the past. It's not like, oh, we didn't know. Like,
but what
Every
we're coming
Battlefield
to notice,
since 4 has had that, and it's
Yeah.
like, why'd you remove that?
what we're coming to notice though, which I saw a lot of through that video, is a lot of the stuff that they do have, it just wasn't in the beta.
And they haven't even said if they're going to put it in the full game.
There's a lot of stuff in the video that like these articles haven't touched.
So here's what they said. Additionally, changes to the lighting and visual distinction of enemies has been adjusted, as well as unique icons will be applied to both ally and enemy with new restrictions on when player identity is revealed. So essentially, this is their answer of making distinction. Lighting and color changes and slight visual distinction when it comes to icons.
so let me ask you then. Here's my issue, and I know this doesn't apply to everybody, and I'm not super bad about it. But so you're gonna slightly change the color. What if someone's slightly colorblind? What if
They have those options.
I understand they have those options in the menu, but it doesn't fix it because when they do this, they're not like, man, what are we going to do for people who suck at seeing reds or blues or yellows or greens?
Not even just that.
They're not thinking about that. I know they're not thinking about that because if they gave a damn, they would have done what Brock said and they would have changed the model, the silhouette, so that they, on appearance, just look different. Even if you could have the exact same pattern, but if you take like Crash Bandicoot team and Spyro team and everyone on this team looks like fucking Spyro, you can make them the same exact color with the pants painted on Spyro, but it won't matter because the team looks like Spyro. You know what I mean?
It begs the question: are these adjustments enough? And I don't think they will be.
That's what I'm worried about.
And
is that
it's
saying like, oh, but the USA team, they're they have red stripes on them, but the Russian team is just blue. It's like that's not gonna do enough because. Like you said, the smoke cloud, right?
Right.
If you already have trouble seeing
if your
colors,
vision's obscured, but even still in Battlefield 4, when your vision was obscured, you could still tell who the fuck was who.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, let's break it down this way, without being redundant from the last episode. When you are targeting an enemy, what is the first thing you see? Is it the icon? Is it the color pattern of what they look like and the lighting?
No, it's in terms of the Battlefield beta. It was the
Not
main
even the beta. I'm talking about any fucking shooter you've ever played. Like
the silhouette.
Battlefield
the
especially.
silhouette.
Battlefield,
Like,
especially
definitely.
large scale games like Battlefield, when you are playing the game and you're in a fight, what is the first thing you notice when it comes to positively identifying an enemy?
That there's a person.
Not that there's a person, what that person looks like.
Well, I don't play hardcore.
Silhouette,
So.
not even just hardcore, even on core mode, like the visual distinction between what you have on your side versus that side is drastically different. So the first thing you notice when you're shooting at somebody is the character model, not the icon, not the color, not the lighting, the character model. That's the first thing you notice. And I feel like they didn't even take that into consideration with this, as they had this cool idea of let's put specialists in it and like have everyone be able to, like, well, what about balancing? We'll make everyone use this, be able to have access to the specialists.
Yeah.
Cool idea. However, the last thing they took into consideration with this is how are people going to be able to identify the enemy if everyone can use the same thing? They were thinking more of balancing versus actual
Team identification.
team identification.
Yeah.
So to make it, they're thinking of I could totally tell by the way they set this up is that they solely thought about balancing out the new specialist model versus like actually making it like practical for application when it comes to identifying your target.
Which is still, I hope I hope they're not worried about this because this is such an easy fix.
I don't think it is.
I think it is.
It
You literally
depends.
just create, it's a super easy fix and fuck them if they don't do it. Just make a different character model for different teams. You make USA characters, Russian
And
characters.
they've done that
and you
before.
can-
Like
you
the
can-
medics on the medics on one side look different than the medics on the other side. They have
Yeah.
similarities by the fact that they're just generically looking, but like other than that,
Like they have
medics
different
don't-
character models, so that way they look different. So that way you can be like,
Yes.
oh, that's a medic, but that's my medic because I'm on this team. So you know that you're good, right? It's like in Battlefield 1. If you're playing as the Brits, you don't have the people, you're not, when you're fighting the Turks.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the guy with the turban isn't fighting for the British Empire. I know that.
Or
You know
like
what I
in
mean?
Battlefield 4, that enemy sniper doesn't have a boonie hat and a kit. Mine and my team does. He's wearing a bandana with a balaclava and he's just wearing nothing.
Yeah.
Or like the fucking support guy, the machine gunner. Fucking trying to remember what the fucking machine gunner looked like. The machine gunner, like I noticed that the U.S. models all had very distinct differences, and the Russian guys pretty much all looked the same, for the most part, if I remember right. I can't remember what the engineer looked like in Battlefield 4 for the Russians. I just remember there was the dude with the ball cap for the American side, but for the Russians, I want to say that he had,
I'm just hoping it'll be an easy fix, if anything. Or if they've already done it. I don't know.
We'll see when it actually comes out.
I'll be on leave for it, so I'll have plenty of playtime.
And
Took 4
yeah,
days.
I got another week.
That's it for Battlefield.
But I have leave when Battlefield comes out.
I'm enjoying Back for Blood right now. Go fuck yourself.
I'm enjoying everything.
I
else
thought
that's
about
not-
getting it.
Oh,
Is
dude,
it?
I've
Is it
been
good?
It's good. I'm not gonna lie, 100% with Back for Blood. Sorry, this is not to be too off topic for you. You want to play on, at least for me, because I am not like I'm good at games, but I'm not like some MLG over here, But you want to play on the easiest difficulty first, because just because it says it's the easiest difficulty and they call it recruit, does not mean that it's just like, oh, it's just easy.
No, it's still fucking
Yeah.
hard.
It's still hard actually.
I've died in
Dude, it's the
recruit
same with
mode in
Arma.
other games.
Same with Arma.
Like you want to get better cards to help your build. Otherwise,
You've mentioned that. What does that even mean?
It's
so
basically
you get
like-
cards that give you different abilities.
yeah, essentially, it's like perks.
Oh, okay. I just call them something different. Yeah, I've thought about getting it because it looks good. And it looks
The one thing that I have a hard time with is like usually when I'm playing a new game like that, I like to run sniper just to get a feel of all the mechanics.
Yeah.
And you can only ever have 2 snipers in there on each team, and 9 times out of 10, someone's already got it.
on Back for Blood.
And no, on you're talking about Back for Blood.
Back for Blood.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about fucking. I'm talking about Hell Let Loose. Fuck, I'm thinking about it completely. I'm hungry. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, but yeah, no, I was talking about Back for Blood because the card system does so much for your build. Like the one that I'm running now, because I
feel so stupid.
I tend to run. He's like, I like to run sniper to get that feel for all the mechanics. I'm like, no, that still makes sense.
I was
still makes
thinking,
sense.
like,
But then someone
you're
already fucking takes it. I was like, dude, you can.
You're at a
just pick
severe
up,
disadvantage.
You
What
can
I
just
was
pick
thinking.
up your own fucking sniper.
I've heard that the Back for Blood difficulty system is kind of flawed in a way where like veteran is a drastic increase.
Well,
in
it's because
difficulty.
it is, but it's a drastic increase. How about this? For a while, we played it with a group of guys. It was like 4 of us, no problem, right? We're going through, we're brand new to the game, all of us, so we're still kind of getting our ass kicked a little bit, mostly because of like we're getting used to playing.
Right.
Me and my buddy Nick, who was completely separate, it was just me and him for a couple days that we were just playing it, and we went through. We said, "Fuck it, we're gonna go to recruit. We're gonna play the game on that difficulty because we can at least make some progress."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm tired of getting to like the second mission, getting my dick slapped, and starting over. So, we play, and we ended up finishing the campaign in a few days. Granted, we were putting quite a few hours into this, so this wasn't like a 2 days. That's it. Like,
Yeah, you guys are putting in like fucking 10 hours plus per day.
or so. Like, we were putting in a lot of hours into it on my free time since I'm on leave. Point is, anyway, we were going through it, but as we went through, we started you pick a certain type of weapon that you get used to. Like you pick your own specialty. Like I picked up shotguns because one of the first cards that I got that was really good to help out like my damage was like, plus 30% ammo capacity with shotguns, plus 10% damage with shotguns.
Oh, similar to how the Treyarch did the zombies on.
Yeah, kind of. But like,
Cold War, okay.
but you'll get your own. Like he got a melee focus build, and it's hilarious at this point because a lot of those abilities stack. It's like one of my abilities is like, plus 20% reload speed with shotguns, so I can load shells in faster, no problem, right? Well, then I get a completely different ones. It's like, hey, you can't aim down the sights, but plus 50% reload speed. So now I'm like a fucking crackhead shoving shells into this thing, and I use shotguns. I don't need to aim down the sights, so I'm just running and gunning. And then
the one thing about it though is that once you mod shit, like the mods don't transfer. So if you find something that's better, or if you let's say you have a gun that's not as good, and you add all these nice mods to it.
Oh yes.
And you find something better.
I feel like that's a little bit of experience too, because I'm not gonna lie, like unless you're like you have like a rare shotgun or something, unless it is a blue or like rare or purple, like I don't really mod it.
Unless I'm the same way. It's like playing an RPG. Once you get you get the shittiest loot ever, you're not gonna take the time to fucking upgrade it.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna find something better later.
And then you can mod that. Like No
that's
Man's Sky stuff
that's just
does
experience. Like I mean, sure, sometimes it kind of sucks if you like find a random like 5-star plus 30% reload speed, 75% like magazine size mod. Like sure, that sucks if you find one because you don't want to just not use it.
Right.
But But I mean, it's just like don't spend money to upgrade your fucking shitty guns. If it's a green or white, you don't do anything with it. Don't.
Purple or gold.
Are there missions on it?
What do you mean?
Like on the game, like there's different missions.
There are certain things that you can get different corruption cards where it's like, hey, you might get extra money at the end of this if you kill a boss. But if you go through because you can get to the safe room without killing the boss. So if you do that, if you just skip the boss, then you don't get the reward.
So
right?
but essentially, it's like you get incentives for actually beating the boss versus like
sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you get one because you get one.
Oh really?
Yeah, but a lot of times it's like kill one boss to get like 500 copper. So but you can use that later on for a mission that like this might fucking suck later on if you can't buy extra shit. And copper really does help because you can use copper for like, you can buy firearms, like you can buy guns, or you can buy med kits, defib kits, tool kits, which can be useful.
So it's like the currency basically.
Yeah. Copper's the currency.
Okay.
But you can also use it for team upgrades, which are always 1,500 a pop, but like and you can only buy 2 per level. So like there's only 2 available. So if like my buddy Nick bought one and I bought the other, Mike can't then come in and buy another one. You know what I mean? Like it's just 2 per team per level. But it's like sometimes it's like plus 10% stamina, but it's 10% stamina for everyone on the team. Or it's like, oh, increase the quality of your your grenades. So now your grenades do more damage.
But the game itself is pretty fun.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I will say, the game can get a little obnoxious when spawning specials. It's not like Left 4 Dead where it's like there are 4 special infected. 3 of them have a possibility of spawning, maybe 4 under extraneous circumstances. You know what I mean? Where like you might have a tank, and if you run back far enough, you run into a witch, and there could be a hunter and a spitter, but then they're not going to put a charger and a smoker on top of all that, right? You know what I mean?
This one, they just spawn everywhere.
This one, granted, it's not so overpowering to where they are all so there to pounce all the time, like how it goes. But there are these things called hawkers, and then there's those fat motherfuckers who sit in the back and throw up on you from like 50 feet away. And there will be like 4 of them. And then 2 of the hawkers, and I'm running away from this giant ogre, which is like their big fucking,
their tank thing.
Their tank thing. And this is all happening at once.
I heard the PvP isn't really like.
I haven't really done anything with the PvP.
But I feel like I don't think a lot of people do. Like I feel like it's such an unnecessary mode.
It's because
you have PvP in a zombie mode.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Left 4 Dead did it really well. I will say that. But that's just because Left 4 Dead was a different thing. Point being is, I've never even thought about doing the PvP. 1, the campaign is good. 2, I like playing it with with my buddies. That takes up time.
Well, that's because the AI in the game is really bad.
Oh yeah, no, the AI,
the team AI is so bad.
Your teammate AI is horrible. We actually got a clip because we've been recording for our own YouTube stuff.
What do you mean? It's like the team AI is bad.
The team AI, like they'll literally just walk up and start meleeing a tank, and you're just like, "Why are you doing this?"
The bots that are there to help you, because you have a team of 4 no matter what. So if I play by myself, there will be 3 bots. Their AI sucks. Me and Nick got a fucking clip.
So they just die.
No, it's not that they even die quickly.
They just do dumb shit.
They don't. They're terrible. Like they don't help you out. Absolutely. How about this? Me and Nick were trying to go through on veteran before we had all of our cards put up.
Terrible decisions.
Terrible decisions, yes. But we're in this tunnel. The ogre is currently breaking through the fence to get into the tunnel to come fuck us up. I get downed. Cool, no problem. Nick is still up, right? Nick is currently fighting his way out of a horde. The 2 AI are standing in front of me.
Then they can pick you up?
They could, totally.
But they don't.
But they don't. And they didn't. So they stood there shooting at the ogre, who they damn well knew they weren't going to kill in this short amount of time. This thing damn near has full health. I'm on the ground about to die. The ogre throws a blob of him, I guess.
He just throws a thing from
He threw his dick at you. Got it.
He does. He actually pulls it like out of his chest, so I'm not lying. Anyway. And he downs one of the AI. The animation of him hitting the ground didn't even finish, and one of the guy's walker teleports over to him and starts picking up the bot.
Wait, so the AI was picking up the other AI?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
But ignoring you.
But ignored me the entire time. I died.
Oh, naturally, yes.
And my boy Nick was like running into the other room. He's like, "Fuck, what do I do? Where do I go now?"
Ask the AI.
I was so fucking mad.
It's just like the things that the AI I've been seeing videos about the AI.
I've seen them
game.
stand there and get hit by a zombie. Just
And
not
do
even
nothing.
a special zombie. Not even like a special. Just a run of the mill.
Just something you see
peon.
from a fucking
Yeah,
the horde.
and he is just sitting there, just over and over, just fucking clawing the back of this guy's head,
And
and
they just do
he's
nothing.
just over and over, just gets hit in the back of the
So
head.
pretty much you need a team.
You
Yeah.
do need a team because the AI is not going to save you. It's not going to do you any favors at all. Yeah, like you're basically running in there by yourself completely.
Do you get AI regardless of if you go in?
No. So if you have 4 people, then there's no AI.
It's just
No, I mean like if you just go into a game by yourself, you don't have friends.
Yeah,
It gives you
get
all-
bots.
it'll
people
automatically.
automatically.
But if you have like 2 players, it will not give you 2 AI. If you have people in your squad, right? If you have a team of people,
No, it gives you bots
oh, it does give you bots.
unless you have 4.
So if you have 4, because the max is 4.
Yep.
So no
So-
matter what,
So
you
no
have
matter
to
what,
have-
unless you have 4 people, you are going to get bots to fill the empty spots.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was.
So if you
my
have
question.
3, you'll get 1 bot.
So there's no like single player mode where there's no bots.
There is a single player mode, but it's all bots, and you can never
That's
play
okay.
that completely alone. Never.
But the decks actually, they give you more access to more cards for the solo decks. So you can get a solo deck where like you can break out a on your own.
But did you hear about what's up with the solo mode? And it's something that has come under a lot of controversy.
I didn't. Is it what? I'm going to see if I can guess this. Is it because it doesn't activate certain achievements in the game for you?
Or progression.
So I didn't have the progression issue. I went through the campaign and I was unlocking missions as I went along.
You can unlock the missions, but it gives you no achievements. It gives you no progression.
But I noticed as I was going through, I had gotten like 3/4 of the way through because I took a lot of time because I've been on leave. I took a lot of time by myself. I was killing some fucking time. You know what I mean? I was just playing the game by myself. Granted, on recruit because I'm not a sociopath, but I was playing through the game and I didn't notice anything weird at first until I got on with my buddy Nick one day and we beat Act 1. And it was like Act 1 recruit, blink, the little trophy shit. And I was like, I've already done this. Why is this going off? And I noticed it a couple more times. I was like, oh, well, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe, maybe I was offline. You know what I mean? Maybe something happened.
You can't play it offline.
You know what I mean? Really?
Yeah.
I haven't.
It has no
that.
offline mode.
I haven't noticed that.
A lot of games are doing that now.
Yeah, that's another big controversy.
Whoever thought that was a good idea needs to be castrated.
Yeah, because every single military person wants to fucking kill you.
Yeah,
because and if they have kids, get rid of the kids. They don't deserve to have a lineage.
Yeah,
it's
so
awful.
You can't if you have.
It's a bad idea.
If you have bad internet or no internet, you are shit out of
luck.
And
I'm kind of mad because we already made a stand against this because when fucking Microsoft decided that they were going to have the smallest dick in the arena and said that your Xbox always needs to have an online connection, people were like, that fucking sucks.
And
yeah, PlayStation tried that too.
Leave. I know, but Xbox was just the most famous one that I knew of.
Yeah, it had to be always online, connected to the internet, and it had to have a camera on it.
Yeah, and people were like, go fuck yourself. And they were like, oh, okay. And they backed off.
They backed off that quick.
Because, well, the backlash, admittedly, in Microsoft's defense, not that, I support their idea there, but, the backlash was substantial. It was...
Sony was trolling them.
Yeah.
Sony was trolling them, at the PS4 announcement. And then even still, the other thing that they got a lot of backlash on top of that was the fact that they had the idea of, once you get a game and play it on that console, you can never share that game with anybody else.
I remember all that shit.
So you couldn't just play the game and then let somebody else play it.
Yes.
You put that game in that Xbox, it would not work on any other Xbox.
I remember that shit.
I didn't know who thought that these were fucking good ideas.
And then Sony trolled them on that one.
That's something that if you're going to be that much of a douchebag and you're going to be like, yeah, I want this to be part of my product, you don't tell people that shit till you've already sold it. But because if you tell them hey, yeah, so I'm going to be the biggest cheapskate that I possibly can be,
Well, there's actually a strategy behind why they tell them before it launches. Because if it doesn't bode well, they can backtrack.
Still, but
versus
it's just,
when it's out and then people are like, fuck this, and they get rid of their systems. Which by that point they've already got your money, but at the same time, there's no player base at that point. Then
and they won't sell
resale any new consoles they make won't sell. So maybe shoot themselves. And so if they say this at announcement and they get the backlash before it's released, and then they backtrack.
It's the idea, and I understand that you can backtrack at that point, but it's the idea. Why would you tell someone that you're actively going to do something that is a horrible business practice, and then be like, oh, but are you still going to buy my product then? I don't know.
So here's why publishers have always been toeing the line of the limits they can push before to find out what will the community accept.
I mean, how about this? It's the idea that Microsoft is already looked down upon as a bad company.
It's getting better.
No, I mean, it's getting better, but it's the idea that, and I understand that these are different people over different periods of time.
Yeah.
But it's the idea, how about this? People like myself, the reason why I didn't get an Xbox wasn't because of, Sony just had my heart, or, because I thought that the PS5 was just the best fucking thing ever. It was because every time, when I was growing up, Microsoft always did shitty fucking things, right? I'm not gonna lie, there was the whole issues that we just talked about.
It left a bad taste in your mouth.
Oh, definitely.
It's the same thing with me.
How about this? If you want, you could get on your from what I've seen from Sony, certain games will decrease in price right over time because they want someone to buy it. So here's what it is. If you go on your Xbox 360 right now, if you have one, and point being, if you had an Xbox 360 and we were to log in right now and we wanted to buy something off of the Xbox store, let's say Left 4 Dead 2, since we've been talking about Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood a lot. If you wanted to buy a DLC for Left 4 Dead 2, it would still cost you like I think it's like $15. That's how much it was at launch. They don't budge on anything. They still want a lot of these things. They want them
They
to be
used
the
to
exact
not budge
price.
on anything. Now with the Game Pass, that's all changed.
And
This-
sure, it may be changing now. It's just I don't trust anything that they do because
So,
it's been so
their
awful.
their Game Pass is it's funny because Microsoft and Sony have flip-flopped with this.
Mm-hmm.
Sony is now doing what Xbox did. They don't have a Game Pass. The most they have is PlayStation Plus, and once in a while you get a sale on there.
No, they got the PlayStation Now
Whatever.
or View. It's one of the
So-
two.
It's as far as what I'm tracking here.
But you know what's never
PlayStation
on that?
Now.
Brand new titles. Brand new AAA titles.
The subscription or the version that's like what Xbox is
Right.
doing is it does have stuff like that on there, but I will still say it's still not as good as what they've got.
No. So Game Pass, let's put it this way. It's like what, $12 a month for Game Pass. And it's basically like Netflix for your for all your games in the Microsoft store.
And it's
you
better.
and you can get it on PC.
Yeah, they're
Well,
interchangeable.
the reason why I
Well,
think,
hang on, there's more. So the other thing that Microsoft is doing, which is mind-blowing, is they are putting brand new titles. Halo Infinite's going to be available on the Game Pass.
well, that's going to suck for the Game Pass because Halo Infinite doesn't look good. But anyway,
Actually, have you seen like any of the beta gameplay?
I haven't seen the beta gameplay, but I
It is-
definitely saw what they
revealed?
talked about. But like not the reveal. That's not what I'm talking about. People who were going over some of the reviews of like at the time, granted, because I haven't seen the beta, but what the information we were given, and you know, sure you have the initial like fanboy reactions, but there was a lot of people, and after watching
So-
videos who talked about why they were really cautious about this, I kind of agreed, but like trust me, I don't want Halo to suck. I'm just saying, like, from what I had seen before, it didn't look
So
fantastic.
after all that backlash, they delayed the game by a year
Okay.
and completely changed it. Changed the way it looked. Changed like graphically. They beefed it up. A lot of the things that people were talking about, like what the fuck is this? They canned and then replaced it with something better. I have almost not heard anything bad about Halo Infinite with the beta.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying with the beta, people are claiming now after the beta
Yeah.
that Halo Infinite may be the best shooter to come out this year.
Yeah, they've had a lot of good feedback.
That would
on
be
it.
a huge turnaround. I actually like,
And
despite the sour tone, I don't want it to be a bad,
Oh no. But
Like-
and to top that all off, it'll be available on the Game Pass, so you don't have to pay $70, $60, or $70 for it. You can pay the $12 a month on your Game Pass, and you'll have Halo Infinite.
But they also announced that the multiplayer is gonna be free too.
Yes, that also.
Wait, what?
The multiplayer for Halo Infinite will be free.
Yeah.
Why was it not going to be free?
Well, it was obviously going to have a story, but the multiplayer will be free to play if you don't
Yeah.
want the story.
So it's like Warzone.
Oh, okay, cool, gotcha.
But
I was
it's
like,
just
I was like,
multiplayer.
are they really making people like buy the game and the multiplayer?
No.
So if you don't want the game and you just want the multiplayer, you can just play the multiplayer.
But then that also will, and for the Game Pass, that's fine. Like I'm not talking about their position itself, but then that makes me think though too, prices better start going down because if the multiplayer is free and you're just like handing
it's gonna be a way to sustain the game.
I know, but it's just the idea that if you're gonna make the multiplayer free, cool, we'll play Halo Infinite for free. Let's say in this scenario it wasn't on the Game Pass, right? Like you either bought the game or you just played the multiplayer. Is your campaign $70 worth? No, probably not. Your campaign is probably not worth $70.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I don't even think it's going to be $70.
I'm just saying, like that's just not
yeah,
about Halo. That's just about
well,
the
here's the thing:
practice of
Battlefield 2042 is $70,
Mm-hmm.
But nothing's free.
and it is not what.
But nothing's free.
Nothing's free. Not even the fucking hazard zone. So it's like, to me, is that game $70? No, it's not.
True.
Not even.
No, and I
not
agree.
even a little bit.
Well, it's just the practice of saying, hey, we'll give you this part of the game for free, like the multiplayer. You know
Right.
what I mean? So then, if this is free, then can we like lower the price on your fucking, on your campaign then? Because then I would be more likely to buy it.
I have this prediction that Microsoft is going to win the console war this generation.
Really?
The reason why I say that is because Sony's been doing a lot of fucky shit. and that's been getting a lot more restrictive when it comes to things, and Microsoft is becoming more and more consumer friendly with its practices. Will it perform better than a PlayStation? People are saying at launch, no, but down the road, Microsoft is looking to completely overhaul their new gen consoles to make them outperform the PlayStation.
You know what?
No.
I don't think they will, or it won't. It will be a while, because next year the Discord integration comes with PlayStation.
Yeah, that's why it will be a while. But like, I mean, at that point, that's the biggest advantage that PlayStation will have over it.
That's a big advantage, though.
Yes, it's a big advantage. Yes, it is. I will say it is a big advantage. But to how far when it comes to other consumer practices, when it, like, for example, the Game Pass, the games that are on the Game Pass also include all of their DLC.
Right, no, and I agree, and that's
updates.
That's
so it's
fantastic. But I would say the reason why, like, I think PS Now wasn't geared towards that is because PS Now, which is I think what you were trying to cite,
It's either View or Now, something like that.
PS Now is supposed to bring back retro games. It's not really supposed to be for like
Yeah.
brand new titles. So it's in the same niche as like the Game Pass.
The Game Pass does the same thing, except
But again, the PS Now, it was never intended.
Yeah, they've had
like-
Now for longer than they had the Game Pass.
Yeah,
right. So comparatively, a lot of people have made the comparison, like what is actually worth more for its value, and everyone has concluded that the Game Pass is.
But that's an easy fix for Sony. All they gotta do is change.
Well, will they?
But I mean, to
That's-
be fair,
that's-
PS Now is
that's
also
the
a little
hang-up.
cheaper.
They will.
The hang up. I don't think. Time will tell. But as of right now, Sony isn't going to.
I don't know, like, and I don't know too much about Game Pass versus what it's like against something like PS Now. And I mean, this is coming from someone who doesn't even have PS Now, but like PS Now is like $10, and it's meant solely for retro games. And I don't know how many deals Xbox has typically going through its store, but like it's like how about this? Hell Let Loose literally just came out, but we got it for free.
Right.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like there are decent deals going on. Granted, this is from someone who likes Hell Let Loose, but like it's just the idea. Like
It really
it's
sucks
not,
that
it's not
Hell
like
Let-
we're getting shanked over here.
I didn't
Like,
realize that Hell Let Loose was only available for next gen consoles and PC.
True.
Because I told Tony, my buddy Tony, I was like, dude, you're gonna love this game. It's a World War II game. It's right up your alley, and it's fucking free. He's like,
You
it's
can't even find it.
At first, he couldn't. He wasn't looking for it, and he was just like, dude, it's not even showing up. I'm like, why? And I looked into it, and I'm like, it's not even going to be available for PS4. It's only available for PS5, Xbox Series X,
Yeah.
and PC. I was like, fuck, I'm sorry, I didn't even realize that. So, I mean, you got to be careful with these free games that PlayStation puts out, because a lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but like a handful of them, are only for the next gen.
Well, now. Yeah.
Now, yeah, but which I didn't even realize. Because, like, honestly, Hell Let Loose is a game that, like, Tony would love, because he's a huge World War II buff, and he's really into games that.
I'm just gonna let him know that they fucked up some things
I think
in terms
They
of
probably
historical
replaced it.
accuracy.
I'm
they
sure
probably
did.
replaced it on PS4 with something else.
I mean, it's a fucking video game.
I mean, yeah, but have you ever seen a bolt action rifle that only holds 4 goddamn bullets?
No.
It bothers me. It's never happened in the history of fucking ever, except one time, and it was Italian.
Yeah, that's true. Well, listen, boys, we're at 3 hours. We got to wrap this up because I got to eat before I go to this haunted house.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
That's crazy to me, because I remember we used to have like the 4-hour ones, and we're like, what time is it?
I mean, we can breeze through this still. I mean, like, it didn't
I
feel
mean,
like
we moved pretty quick.
it didn't feel like
Even
3
though
hours.
I was doing
It never
my-
does.
I was doing my best to give a lot of tangents, but
Well, I've been trying, because of YouTube purposes and viewership reasons, I've been trying to purposely mitigate the sidebars. Because as much as I love the sidebars, at the end of the day, like, our episode, this recent one, has the highest start to finish viewership.
Which one? This last episode?
This last one, and it's the shortest one.
This last one's the shortest one?
Is that on YouTube? It's at an even almost 2 hours and 2 minutes.
oh, nice.
Okay.
So, like, the shortest ones have the most, like, well, granted,
Completion
like,
of
recently has had the more viewership than the last 2 or 3 episodes, but overall, it appears to have the highest start to finish and the longest viewer attention.
But I know as we get more views when we put a lot more time into the advertisement of it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I need
Which
help
makes
with
sense,
that. I need fucking help with that.
I've been slacking. I'm not
thinking
gonna lie.
about. I'm thinking about like several days of promotion versus just one day when it comes
Yeah,
out.
and I've been slacking. I apologize about that, but yeah, I haven't. I've been slacking this fuck on promoting it myself.
Hey, how about you do me a favor and be the promoting guy while I'm the editing guy and publishing guy and all that shit. And here I am. I'm like trying to fucking edit.
I can also
Edit,
start helping
export.
out, looking for news.
Because what I do, I put it on like my Instagram. I'll put a link on my Snapchat for friends. The only thing I don't do is put it on Facebook.
Fuck
Well, I do
Facebook,
put it
I
on my
don't care.
Facebook gaming page group, but like I'll put it in the
Right, not your
Discord and
personal,
like
gotcha.
Yeah,
all that
like
shit.
it's just I need help with the promoting part because of right now it's just like doing all like promoting, editing, publishing, all that shit, managing it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm literally like, and then also at work like I can only publish so much, and then I'm like, I'm looking at the analytics of the promotions, and I'm just like, no one's giving a fuck, especially.
I still think TikTok though, man. That Freddy guy, I noticed when I've been watching their stuff, they've significantly been able to upgrade their equipment.
Why, by posting on TikTok?
Well, because they're getting more money now. Like they have like a Patreon and stuff.
Well,
that
here's
they
the
did,
first
but-
thing. I've noticed one thing that a lot of these other podcasts do is that they intentionally make clippable moments,
Correct.
which we just roll. We just go off of what we say and do, and we just business as usual, where they intentionally make a clippable moment, and they, like in that whatever podcast that they're doing, like it almost seems like they scripted a clippable moment within their discussion.
So, well, some of them might, but I think the ones that are the most clippable that I listen to are usually the ones where they're talking about stuff like you just know it's gonna be funny, or they're like asking each other questions, like things that are gonna be clippable.
Right.
Like when I was talking about that host story, the super long one, I knew there was gonna be clippable moments in there.
Right. Last few episodes we haven't had very many.
Yeah.
Definitely the table will be one for sure.
What?
When you knock the table.
Oh no, that won't be.
Oh,
There's,
really?
I think,
You want to put that in there? Us actually.
I actually kind of disagree because I do think there are plenty of moments in our episodes
Then
that
point 'em
are
out.
clippable.
Point them out because you're the ones that are watching them. I'm not watching any of them.
But some of us are watching them.
Well, you're the one that's watching them from start to finish. I haven't been
Yeah.
watching any of them. In fact, I haven't even listened to any of them.
How? How do you even do the editing then?
Well,
Oh, when I'm editing, yeah,
sure,
that's-
he's editing.
I'm
them,
editing and I'm
he's-
looking for the points and I'm making sure there's no breaks that I missed and stuff. And I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention more of like.
He's not enjoying like sitting down and listening to it.
Yes,
He's
I'm not
Okay.
consuming
putting
it.
together.
I'm not consuming it. I'm building it.
I guess that's fair.
So like, and then in between, I'm looking and if I the clips that I make to start the episode off is kind of like the hook for people to watch. It just would often happen to be something that I remembered that we talked about, or I came across it and said that's a good one.
Okay.
Like the Tim one, I came across that one and said I can use that one.
Because I mean, the thing is also I don't think about the editing aspect of it. Because the one clip that you did make of like my host story, it took actually different parts and it was put together.
I made it to be a clip like that for a reason because I'm like, there's just so much here that I have
Yeah.
to make it to where it flows on top of it being a clip.
But it was still funny. We have so many moments that are, even if it's just me and you, they're fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
And the funny ones are gonna be the ones that help us get viewers.
I know, and like that's why you got to find a clip that's a good hook to get people to keep watching. Because the one thing is you start the intro and then you start going through all the things. People are like, I don't care anymore. So, but you want to put something interesting in the beginning, like in the first 15 seconds, to make them go, "What the fuck? Like, where's that at in this episode?" And just keep watching. So anyway, we're gonna get off here, boys and girls, and everyone else of the Blacklisted Gaming podcast community. I love you guys and I appreciate you all. We are back, or we are concluding once again another episode. Longer than intended, but also ending at a decent time so that I can at least take a shit, eat some food, and then go to a haunted house to see if Alicia is scared of these or not. We'll find out. It's going to be an interesting...
Like the video,
Like the video.
subscribe.
Subscribe to the video.
I'm gonna start doing that every time now, just to mock him.
Like, be like obnoxious.
Just Nick Merckx.
Oh.
Like the video.
Oh, no, hang on, I got to do it like this.
Yeah, just show your forehead and shit.
Hang on, let me zoom in on this real quick. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Whoop. Whoop. And there we go. Like the video. No, I gotta get a little closer. Let me fucking. No, yeah, I do have to get closer. Hang on.
There you go. That's how
Like
you
the
do.
video. Follow me on YouTube. Family.
Whatever the fuck it says.
YouTube. Every fucking video. I literally hate Nick Merckx. Tim is hilarious.
Why are you hating Nick Merckx?
I just don't like
There's
him.
Tim right there.
I don't like his content. Him with Nick or him with Tim is hilarious. But like just him, I don't like his shit. I'm not a fan.
Well, anyway, guys, not fucking around with these cameras. We love you guys. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good night, guys.
You ain't gonna jump no more.